My sister made our father walk her down the aisle with our mother's affair partner.
That's just sad.
My family used to be really close, but that changed in 2003 when my dad, 55 male, discovered that my mom, 54 female, was having an affair with John, 54 male, my dad's childhood best friend.
That ain't no friend.
Those are red flashing lights.
Red flag.
He was basically his brother back then, and he was my dad's best man in his wedding with my mom. He begged her to stay and work things out, but my mom ended up leaving him for John, and eventually they got a divorce, and my mom ended up marrying John 5 months later.
Dude, our John would not do this to
Our
us.
John would never do that. This is also so messed up. Like, your best friend
That was a
steals your
brother
wife.
to you?
Messed up. My twin sister, Sarah, 27 female, was always the stereotypical daddy's girl. Dad spoiled her a bit more than the rest of us, and she was basically a shadow back then. And that's why it was really surprising to us that Sarah chose to stay with our mom after the divorce.
It's better to be a salt daddy than a sugar daddy. Sugar daddies spoil, salt daddies preserve.
That's kind of really good. Did you just come up with that?
Yes.
Back then, me, 27 male, and her were the only ones to still live with our parents. We have 4 other brothers. I chose to stay with Dad, and Sarah chose to live with Mom, and on the weekends, she came to stay with me and Dad. I chose to stay with Dad, and I occasionally went to Mom's house. To say that the divorce and my sister choosing to stay with Mom effed up my dad is an understatement. He tried to act like he was okay in front of us, but every single weekday for the year following the divorce, I could hear him cry himself to sleep.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Dude,
That's
hearing
sad.
a parent sad is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, because you don't know what to do. You can't fix that. You're a kid. After the divorce, the relationship between Sarah and Dad didn't change that much. He started to spoil her a bit more than the usual and still remained the usual super dad, showing up at every parent-teacher conference, ballet recital, and soccer match and being the most present dad possible. Things started to change when she suddenly changed her mind about med school. Our dad is a surgeon, and she always said that she wanted to follow his steps, but Mom and John ended up pressuring her to change her career path to become a lawyer. Mom and John are both lawyers.
Bro, what even is this?
During her studies, John started mentoring her, and they became really close. After she finished her education, he got her a job at his law firm. So John is the best friend.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be like really weird. Someone makes sense because she's close with her mom, but I feel like that's just like, I don't know, the guy that broke your parents up is getting you a job and you're close to him.
I think the worst thing about this is that John has been around the family so much. So
Yeah.
in a way, he's kind of like a parental figure already.
Yeah, he's kind of the uncle guy. Uncle Dad. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Dad Disowned, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, on to the issue. In 2017, Sarah got married. My dad was absolutely thrilled about her wedding. He gave Sarah a blank check for her dream wedding. To be fair, he did this to all of us. He really likes weddings. But in Sarah's case, he was really excited because she is his only daughter. And I always remembered him talking about walking her down the aisle. Like every wedding that we went to, he always said to her that he couldn't wait for the day to walk his little girl down the aisle. One day before the wedding, Sarah drops the bomb that Dad and John will be walking her down the aisle together. Immediately a-hole.
Really bad.
You could maybe justify like saying, oh, these two people are, really important in my life. But you didn't tell your dad until the day before that he has to walk down the aisle with the guy who stole his wife?
Dude, like, it doesn't make any sense in this scenario because it seems like the dad is probably paid for a lot of this. Well, John paid for it.
No, Dad did.
Dad is the
gave
one that
blank
paid
check.
for all this, and he can't walk her down the aisle. This is insane.
That's really messed up. Dad is the most non-confrontational person to walk on this earth, and she expected him to just suck it up. He didn't do that. They got into a huge fight. Nice. Stand up for
Yes!
yourself,
Thank
Dad.
Goodness, do not become like a Rob. Remember the Rob story?
Yeah.
Don't be like Rob.
Don't be Rob.
Fight back a little bit. Fight back.
The first time I saw him get angry, and in the end, he didn't attend the wedding, and John ended up walking Sarah down the aisle. The fallout was massive. After the wedding, Dad and his side of the family basically disowned her, and the relationship became non-existent. Wow. She tried to reach out after a while and make amends several times, but he simply didn't want to hear or talk about her. We experienced expected him to turn around when she gave birth in 2018, but he doesn't even want to meet her kids. Wow. Earlier this year, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately, the treatment didn't work, and he is terminal. This is so sad. Even with that, he still doesn't want to see her again, and she doesn't understand that. While she has absolutely wronged him, I would be having a conversation with him and saying, hey, is there any, like, this is your daughter. Yes, she did something really awful.
I
but
don't know, though. This is the equivalent of wearing white to a wedding, if not even worse.
Oh, I think it's worse. I think it's way worse.
It's way worse.
I think she did something truly awful.
You could remedy this, but what you're saying as a statement to the world on the day that you were, leaving your family to go with another man is that this man that is walking me down the aisle has enough authority to give my blessing away to this other man. You were putting so much priority over the affair partner than your dad. Your dad's like here, and you're putting the affair partner all the way up here for no reason.
No, I mean, I think it's awful, to be clear, but
when you want to hold this over your daughter for the rest of their life,
it looks like you're doing sign language.
I don't even know.
You could say it rude.
I think this.
Anyway, comment from OP. She was always Dad's favorite. She was the most stereotypical daddy's girl possible. They were practically joined at the hip. She was basically his shadow growing up, which maybe made that all the more hurtful for him to lose this little girl that, was so close to him.
The father has the right to choose who he spends his energy on, and the daughter maybe doesn't deserve to feel at ease about it in his eyes.
And she is very sweet. She's honestly very easygoing, and she was everyone's little sister. My dad always wanted a girl too, but in the end, she is a very likable person. Apparently, it was my mom's idea, and my sister accepted because John has done so much for me, which I honestly don't understand. My dad paid for her whole education. When we moved to another city to go to college, my dad spent hours talking to her on the phone every week, and he used to travel every 15 days to see us. A 3-hour flight, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I just cannot understand how your sister did not see, just the train wreck that would follow after that decision of asking the affair partner to walk her down the aisle too.
The guy that convinced you from going down the route of being a surgeon, the thing that you've wanted to do since a little girl,
to become a lawyer?
What kind of mind-washing, boggling things happened here? Don't we understand who the bad guy is in this scenario?
It doesn't seem like she understands why her father is so upset. She just kind of wants time to wash the sins away. And it's not gonna.
Nina says, I mean, in a perfect world, after the dad would see her, they would reconcile, but the world isn't perfect, and I can't blame him for still being hurt and angry.
Yeah, exactly.
She knew the whole story. Our parents' divorce was as civil as possible, but she knew about the whole thing. It's not like it was a family secret or anything like that. I and my older brothers told her before the wedding that this was a bad move, that she was pouring salt on Dad's wound, and she didn't listen, and she has to live with those consequences.
What happens when you pour salt on a wound? Does it help it?
It hurts.
It just
stings.
hurts?
It stings a lot.
Does it help heal it?
I don't think so.
It just makes it sting.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Yeah, it's like putting lemon juice.
Yeah, well, also I was going to say, on a boat, when they would whip people on boats and stuff, sailors and stuff, they would use a cat of nine tails, and it would have salts, on it, the salt water on it, and when it hurt even more.
Cat of nine tails, man.
We are all very close. I am particularly close with her because, well, we are twins, shared a womb and stuff, but our older brothers love her, and she loves them as well. She was always a bit spoiled by them. The privilege of being the only girl in the family. Oh, I really don't think he is possessive over her. I really don't think he judged her for staying with Mom. He was just sad he doesn't get to see her more often. They were together since they were 12 and 13 years old, The divorce was really rough on him. She's trying to talk to him since that day. They didn't see each other since the wedding. The thing is, if he did have a bit more time, I think he would end up forgiving her, because she is really sorry, but he simply doesn't have that much time. All of my brothers understand both sides. They know how sorry she is and how much this regret is eating her alive. They know how much that whole thing hurt my dad. The thing is, if Dad had more time, he would make amends, but he doesn't, and that sucks so effing bad. I was talking to my brother-in-law today, and he told me that she barely sleeps. practically doesn't eat. I really don't know what to do here. Vanilla Cookie Monster says there really isn't anything you can do. There's no way to make this less awkward or horrible for her. She made her choice years ago. Now she has to live and pass with the consequences. I know you would like to make it easier, but I would just step back from this. The only statement should be, I'm sorry. Dad still doesn't want to see you. And spend all your energy on your dad, not on this passed away relationship. Mano, what the F?
Mono.
What the F? I would say that by her choosing the man who took his wife and life away to walk her down the aisle, that she was the one who chose to disown her father. She needs to live with the consequences.
Right here, Samantha Williams says she could have easily included John in the wedding with an additional father/daughter dance, but to take the walk down the aisle away from her dad is so heartbreaking.
Absolutely. And also when she has that argument with her dad, instead of saying, oh my God, you're so right, I can see now why that would be an awful thing for me to do, and not having John walk her down the aisle, she just kind of doubled down. She was like, well, if you're not doing it, John's gonna do it. The Amberland said salt dries wounds, which prevents infection. Well, good to know. Nina Nilsson says, if you're old enough to marry, you're old enough to stand up to mommy about wedding things. I just don't think she even cared or thought about what it would do to her dad, which is not an excuse because she is totally old enough to know that, and also just to listen when her dad says this is incredibly hurtful, and she didn't.
Yeah, I get it's your wedding, your rules, but what kind of...
It doesn't absolve you from
not being an a-hole or hurting people's feelings.
Yeah.
In a sense, this is pretty rough.
Nina Nelson says she's just now grieving. He's been grieving their relationship for years. Yep. Jellybus says, I've been on the phone with my cousin. Nothing important, but why has Riley got gloves on? Riley got gloves from his brother Tate and has been playing with him.
He's been enjoying it. I think Riley has a new hobby now.
Back to it. Okay, Caster says, are people glossing over the fact the daughter took her dad's money for a dream wedding and after it was spent, then told him, oh, by the way, that dream of you walking me down the aisle, you need to share that dream with the guy that stole your wife and split up your family. That was an absolutely dirt pickle move. And there is an update 6 weeks later. Agreed. Yeah, 100% agreed. And
the ultimate betrayal.
But the thing is, despite all of that, I do hope for Dad's sake, honestly, that he does find it in himself to forgive that, even though he was very, very wronged.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do it, but I think it would, bring him a measure of peace, rather than holding on to that.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's really sad. 6 weeks later, some people asked for an update. Unfortunately, life isn't all about happy endings. This is a sad ending.
No.
Let's just skip this part. We don't need to do this.
We just make up our own happy ending.
Yeah, everyone, they apologized and he accepted and everyone's happy.
Great. Next story.
A week after I posted the original post, my dad started getting worse. His health started declining really fast, and we lost him exactly 1 month ago. It wasn't pretty. I never thought it would be, but I never thought it would be that heartbreaking. He was in a lot of pain. He'd been through so much in these last months. As heartbreaking as it was to us, he deserved to rest. He was tired. In the end, he was lucid enough to say goodbyes to me and my older brothers. Hearing him saying what he said to me was one of the most painful and beautiful moments of my life. His words to me meant a lot. I won't say exactly what he said because I believe that it's just too personal. He said goodbye to my daughters, 11 months and 2 years old, and it was just like when I was a kid. He gave them a kiss on the forehead, told them to be good girls, and said that he loved them. It was something I won't ever forget, and it hurts like heck. Oh, that they are so young to understand what happened. They still ask about Grandpa, and every time I try to explain to them that he isn't coming back, they don't seem to understand that. And how can I blame them? I'm only 27 years old. I honestly don't get it. I was supposed to get a lot more years with my dad. It doesn't seem fair at all. The worst part was my twin sister, Sarah. Dad passed without speaking to her. I tried to talk to him about her, but he wasn't interested in speaking with her. She started getting more desperate, and suddenly he passed. It was expected, but she was in denial.
No.
His funeral was beautiful. A lot of people shared their stories about him. It was nice. Sarah saw Dad for the first time since the night before her wedding.
Oh.
She didn't recognize him. He was very skinny. Dad was always a bit overweight, the famous dad bod, but he had lost a lot of weight from cancer. She cried a lot during the whole funeral. Mom and John tried to show up at the ceremony. That is the audacity for them to show up at OP's dad's funeral is outrageous. I'm sorry. The woman who cheated on him and the affair partner tried to come to his funeral? No.
They thought, yeah, he would want to see her, right?
It's for him. And my uncles were forced to punt them out of the funeral. Good effing riddance. Dad's will went as expected as it could. Dad's family came from old money, petrochemicals, so he always had a lot of money. He left a little bit of money and properties divided equally to all his kids, including Sarah. Wow. He left a trust fund, which was a lot of money for all his grandkids, including Sarah's kids, which he never met. It was honestly expected. My dad never really cared about money that much. He just wanted us to be comfortable and ensure that his grandkids all had something to support them. The tricky part was the personal things. He left a really big letter to all of us, except Sarah.
Oh.
It was really personal stuff. In my letter, he spoke to me about our story, about my childhood. It was really nice. I must have read the letter like 100 times, and I cried every single time. One of my dad's favorite hobbies was photography. He was quite an enthusiast, and the subject of his photos was pretty much our family. When he and my mom were together, later it turned out to be just me and my siblings. As a result of this, we had a lot of pictures from us growing up. He gave us each a photo album, and behind each photo, he wrote something, where it was taken, and a few words. I was honestly very surprised with this. He must have done this long before he passed away. It was a very thoughtful goodbye gift, something that was very typical of Dad. Sarah didn't get a letter, and her album didn't have anything written behind her photos, and when she found out about this, she had a mental breakdown. The regret was eating her alive. Still is. She was admitted to a hospital and spent an entire week there. She's doing a bit better now, getting a little better every day. Her husband and I are really confident in her recovery. She's sleeping and eating almost normally now. She still starts to cry randomly multiple times on a daily basis, but it's getting better. At least that's what I'm telling myself. That is so sad.
Oh, man.
This is so sad.
It's very amazing that he was able to leave like his part of the will to her and her kids.
Yeah.
And this personal things. I mean, I can't blame him. She really did the most betrayal thing she could have done on this world to him.
Oh, yeah.
It does suck, though, that this was like his parting like message beyond the grave.
Just another nail in the coffin that, I messed up and I can never apologize ever again.
Yeah, it does suck, but...
Yeah, I got a letter from my great-grandpa from what he wrote to me in high school, and I still haven't read it.
Oh.
And I don't know if I can.
Yeah, there's no time.
You read it when you're ready.
Which brings us to last week. My wife and I discovered that we are expecting again. It wasn't planned or anything like that. My wife switched birth controls last month, and she spent a week without taking the pill. It's still very early in her pregnancy, so we haven't told anyone yet. The thing is that I'm really angry. I'm angry that my future kid is not going to be able to meet Dad. I'm effing pissed, honestly. It doesn't seem fair at all. I'm angry and I'm scared. My dad was supposed to guide me in the whole parenthood process. He was teaching me a lot with my daughters. I'm effing scared of doing this without him. I'm scared of not being a good father like he was to me because my kids deserve that. Oh, I'm just gonna go right into it. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left of the story, but this is so sad.
Actions have consequences. I just don't understand what she was thinking.
I don't either. And
at
you
the
know
wedding.
what? I think she has been punished enough, so I'm not even gonna say, she's the a-hole still, and she'll be dealing with that for the rest of her life. And honestly, I think, all you can do is just be there for her and say, yeah, I'm so sorry that you didn't get that moment. I don't think you need to say, I told you so, or like...
I think she knows, yeah.
I think that is the worst punishment that she could receive. I don't think we need to say, I don't think we need to rub it in her face. That's devastating. And I'm sorry for your loss, OP. This is it. Folks, the whole situation could be a lot better. I play the what if scenario in my head every day. Unfortunately, it doesn't change anything. This honestly is a bitter ending. Doesn't seem fair at all, but that's the thing about life. It actually is never fair. I want to thank everyone who gave me advice and to everyone who reached out and offered their support in the chat. I was very lonely at that time. Still am. F this year, honestly. It meant a lot to me. Canada is nub says, Listen, bud, let me tell you something. Your amazing dad did his job, and he gave you whatever he could pass on to you. Best thing you could do is live according to the good things he taught you. Grab a book and start journaling all your best memories. Talk to your family members. Write down what they remember too. This is the time to do it while memories are fresh. Losing him is sad, but find happiness in also realizing that whatever hardships he had in life are also over. Now you need to do your best to be as great a father as he was, so your children can benefit from him through the hands of the son he raised with his own 2 hands. I wish you the best in your journey forward. And that's the end of that story.
Katie Pell says, can't OP lean on his wife's dad for dad advice? I know it wouldn't be the same, but it still means something.
I mean, I'm sure he has other people in his life who, can provide that, but like it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's still devastating losing that person.
Gosh, and Mesa Racer says, how old was she again when she made the decision? 27, is that right?
No, he's 27 right now. Oh, so no, but this was a couple years ago, so she would have been probably early 20s.
They're twins, yeah.
They were old. She was old enough to know better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There is no excuse. She's going to be living with that decision forever. I think she's already paid.
Yeah.
And, she's paid over and over, and she's going to keep paying for that decision. So I don't really have the energy to be like, she deserves it.
Yeah, Mesa Racers has a good point. Well, 18 is a kid still. Plus, her mom clearly was emotionally. She had the balls to show up at the funeral. Her and John, I mean, she betrayed the dad, had an affair, got with him, and then made Penny go from becoming a surgeon to a lawyer because that's what she does. And she probably despised her want to be a surgeon and forced her to become a lawyer because she probably was going to pull funding or whatever.
This was sad.
She got the man that walked her down the aisle so she wouldn't feel so bad.
I mean, she's going to feel bad for the rest of her life.
Guys, if you're crying, type 1. If you're not crying, type 2. And I did not leave my gloves in the loo. They're over there.
But that's the end of that story, folks. That was sad.
Yeah, we're going to have another story. Dang, we got some people like actually crying right now.
Oh, that's nice.
I can tell an embarrassing story. So yesterday,
Sure.
I was having Tate and Peyton come to Pearl House, and I had everything set up, and I was like carrying a bunch of stuff. And Sophia in front of her door has so much shit in front of her door.
To be clear, it's a mouse blockade.
I was doing it and I was carrying it, and I accidentally bumped one of the things in my toe. I bumped my toe on it, my pinky toe, mind you. And then the door just flies open, and she's in there with her boyfriend. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
But literally, I'm like sitting on the opposite end of the bed. But like my boyfriend, he's like shirtless because we were in the hot tub earlier. And Riley's like, ah! I'm
sorry.
I'm not even sitting near him.
I know, but I didn't look. I didn't want to look. I'm not gonna be the one that's
You've
like,
seen him shirtless.
Oh, sorry. But like, what if someone else was?
He also had a pillow over his chest.
It could have been so much worse. I felt really bad, and I didn't look. I just kind of like kept my eyes down and like put everything, and I was like, I'm sorry. I was like grabbing at the door, like, I'm sorry.
Just sitting on my bed.
You never know. Plus, but this is Sophia's fault.
Why is it my fault?
Because you have a lock on your door.
I don't lock my door always, especially if like I'm literally sitting on my bed.
But if anything were to happen, it would have been your fault.
Okay. Well,
because your door was not closed all the way because I bumped into it.
That door doesn't close. It like opens really easily. My bio sister tracked me and now wanted to be a part of my life. What is she, the CIA? Here is the issue. I was adopted as a baby. I, 26 female, have no clue what happened to anyone in that family, as I have never had a desire to look into my past. Mom, 59 female, and dad, 63 male, are wonderful and giving people. I have a sister, Elizabeth, who is my twin. Quote. We aren't related by blood, but are the same age. We were both adopted, so we had that to bond over. By the way, this comes from Dramily, and if you wanted to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP said, I met the love of my life, Jake, 30 male, and we've been together for 4 years. We're getting married in December. I have already planned out the guest list. No kids will be there, and I'm super excited. I have never really had the urge to look for my bio siblings. I guess at this point, I wouldn't really be their true sibling emotionally because we have lived different lives. Since I have medical records and grew up without them, I never felt the need to meet them. But my bio sister, Janice, 27 female, tracked me down about a month ago. She wrote me on Facebook in July, but I didn't check my other folder until September. It was a really long letter that talked about who she was, how she tracked me down, and said she was looking for the rest of the siblings. She said she really wanted to connect with the rest of us because she needed to find her past. I didn't know what to think, but her story added up. She had some pictures, and since I was a pretty ugly baby, it's obviously us together as toddlers. She also knew some details. She could be a fake, but I didn't think it was. I showed mom and dad, and they said it checked out. We have been talking for a few weeks now. She has called me twice a week, texting me every day. She's nice, but I have been losing interest. She's just some stranger to me. Emotionally, I find it very hard to recognize this is someone I should care about. On some deep level, shouldn't I feel like we're super close sisters? I don't get the same excitement talking to her that I do with Elizabeth. She has 2 kids who she talks about a lot. She tells me she showed them my picture and they've been showing people Auntie Emily. She also told me she took off time in December for the wedding. She just might need to stay with me because she's low on cash.
Yikes.
Low on cash. Feels like maybe that's the reason she came to you.
Not good. Not good. And there's the first red flag.
We
got
got
it.
I was waiting for it. I know this makes me sound nasty and ungrateful. She's super into meeting me. Said I am the most normal sibling and she's so excited to have someone to share her life with. She sounds really lonely. I know she's built this up in her head as being the best thing to happen to her in forever, but she isn't someone I would have in my life if she didn't have some connection to my past. Every time we talk, she goes on and I'm just counting down the minutes. I have tried to work out a way to be there for her, but I can't bring myself to truly care. I don't wish her ill, but she's just another stranger to me. She isn't family emotionally. I know I could try to form the bond, but at this point, I don't see the point. At 26, I have pretty much established the sort of people I want in my life. She just has views I find strange, is rude in ways I find annoying, and despite having biological nieces, I just don't feel like they're anything but someone else's kid. Does this make me a bad person? Am I horrid? I feel guilty as heck because I can tell she wants this so bad. Even then, even if we did become friends, she would never be my sister, because being a sister means a lot more than genetics to me. I'm not sure how to tell her, hey, I don't want to talk anymore. I've talked with my significant other, and he says if I want her out of my life, then I just need to handle it. He doesn't really like her that much. They've talked, but he says she puts a lot of pressure on me to be close to her when this stuff doesn't always even work. Any advice would be so appreciated. And we've got relevant comments, but what do you think?
Honestly, I don't think that you're like the a-hole in this OP. Because, like, if you don't want a relationship, then you don't want a relationship. Like, it's cool that she reached out and it's cool that she wants one, you know, and she's discovering her past and whatnot, but she can't force that on you.
No, absolutely not.
She cannot force you to feel like have this connection of blood sisters or something. Like, I don't know. You can't force someone to feel a specific way towards someone, especially if, you know, you don't care to know your past. And that's okay. You don't have to. You know, that's your boundary. So she just kind of needs to get it.
I agree. And she's annoying, apparently.
Yeah.
That's her worst crime. I feel like in terms of how do we go about this, you just sit her down, go get coffee, and say, hey, I'm really appreciative that you reached out to me. I don't think I'm ready for the type of relationship you want. And then I don't know where to go from there.
And then you...
Spring Heel Jill says, wait, did she invite herself to your wedding? What? That was a crazy thing that she did. OP says she did invite herself and her 2 kids to my wedding and to stay with me while I have everything else going on. I'm not sure what she thought was going to happen. I was going to be jolly about someone being in my home with kids while I was getting ready for my wedding and a honeymoon. And we've got an update 4 days later. In the last few days, I've done a lot of thinking. The short of the long, I have decided not to have her in my life anymore. What happened? Janice called me last night. I tried to be polite, but she went into a big long rave about all the plans she had for when she visited me. She brought up the wedding. Would there be time to see a long list of local places together? OP is fully planning a wedding. She doesn't have time to be a tour guide. This is crazy. Did she have a +1? No, you don't even have a 1.
Let alone a plus.
Yeah. What was the dinner options? Nothing for you. She already bought the girls' dresses in blue with baskets so they could be flower girls with the rest of the children. She wanted to see her date and who would watch the girls while we were eating dinner. You at home. She was looking forward to meeting our family members in December. She needed to know what date she should arrive. She would need to stay with me because she spent all her extra cash on your wedding. I was pretty shocked because she had done all of this without even confirming she was invited. Not sure what made me ask, but I asked her if she really was in contact with the rest of the siblings. She told me some very concerning things. She had been in contact with 2 of them, a sister and a brother. She said they tried to talk to her but then cut off contact. They were actually doing really well, even though they were in foster care until they aged out. They had their own kids, were married, had decent jobs. They had refused to introduce her to their kids and got mad she wanted to know more details about their lives with our parents. The rest of the siblings turned down contact with her the moment she wrote them. She said I was the longest communication she had with someone in a long time. She just wanted to meet me so badly she had spent more money than she had to look nice. She wanted me to help her and for her girls to finally have a good family. I just told her the truth. You've been coming on too quickly. I'm a bit concerned because you're trying to invite yourself to my wedding. We have never met. We're pretty much strangers. I don't feel comfortable having you come stay in my home before, after, or during the wedding. I have a sister and parents. I was raised with them. I do not view any of the siblings as actual family members. I'm not their aunt in anything but genetics and do not intend to recognize them as my nieces. If I have nibblings, they will be when Elizabeth has children. I would like to cut contact. I'm sorry you've been hurt, but I do not have the energy to help you overcome these issues. I don't want to talk about people I don't know, mistreatment I don't remember, or be part of any reunion stories. I would prefer to focus on my own family. By the way, you guys should focus on listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
I feel bad.
Me too.
It's just, she's too much. She came on too quickly. She expected a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, I got a wedding to worry about. I don't want to rekindle or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's such poor timing for OP.
And I feel like even the timing, like, even if they weren't getting married or whatever, like, just to, like, invite yourself over and do all this, it's just way too much. I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. And inviting your 2 kids as well. It's too much. Go away. Leave us alone.
I mean, I like the message that you sent. I think, like, it was very stern. I don't think that it's mean. People could take it as mean, but I just think it was very much like, okay,
direct.
Yeah, this is what has happened. This is how I feel, and this is how this is my solution.
This is how we're gonna proceed.
You know, she can't take it the wrong way, I don't think.
Jane has told me she didn't have anyone else. I was the last member of her family. I reminded her that her children were her family, and she should focus on making friendships. I hung up on her. She has tried calling back multiple times. I blocked her on everything I could think of. I'm gonna have my personal number changed in the next few days. I feel relieved this is done with. Final comments. Plastic Venus says you did the right thing. For both of you, the fact that her other siblings cut off contact shows that this lack of boundaries is a broader problem and eventually would have dragged you down. Whilst it's sad that she's in this position, she's not your responsibility and in fact is leaning dangerously close to being a liability. Hopefully she backs off and leaves you alone. OP says, I do as well. Jake, my SO, doesn't think she will. We have a security ready for her showing up, and my family is aware of everything and have blocked her as well. And there we go. All good news. Yeah, I would be worried that she would show up at the wedding uninvited. If you have security, then we're all good.
I don't know. She just seems like a sad, lonely girl.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anyone and is just reaching out for any just strand of family or strand of something, like just to find something. But it's like, girl, you can, you know.
Therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's reach out to a therapist first.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Than trying to confide in basically strangers.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
My little sister is scaring all my dates away, but I don't blame her.
She comes in like, hello! Do you want to date my sister?
Long story short about my 24 male life. My mother passed away, and in her will, anointed me as guardian of my half-sister, 11 female with autism. Since then, I've been doing my best to raise my sister properly while attempting to live the life I want. She's very high functioning, but she is very particular and has her quirks. However, she's been getting better at masking her autism. By the way, this comes from External Frosting 9623, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would know in the comments. The problem is, living with her makes it almost impossible to go on dates, let alone find a relationship. Her school hours and my work schedule are almost completely aligned, thus giving very little time for me to go anywhere by myself. And I can't leave her by herself because of her special needs, let alone the fact that she's still young. Maybe when she's older. But still, by then, I feel like I'll have missed the prime of my life. Side note, we get help from the government, but they're practically useless aside from the monetary value. The respite caretakers we tried didn't even help. They were all glorified babysitters that didn't accommodate her needs at all, hence forcing my sister to be with me almost all the time. And because of this, I hardly get any chances to meet women. Honestly, my best successes have been through dating apps, and I hate it. From the sparse matches I get, dating activities are pretty limited since either my sister has to tag along or we chill at my place. Most of the time, my date gets weirded out by my sister and dips early. At best, it becomes a hookup, then I get ghosted.
I wonder if we can find some sort of like specific care place, you know, at least during the day.
Yeah.
And then you just do like coffee dates,
Yeah.
like some sort of daycare for like special ed, like.
Yeah.
Because there's a
things
place
out there.
near where my parents live that has like a gym that caters towards autistic children. So
I've recently stopped trying because it's been affecting my sister negatively. She feels like she is the reason why no one wants to be with me. Whenever I go on dates, she would try to help me. From being reclusive to being my wingman, bless her heart, to everything in between. In the end, her autism slips up and scares my date away. Yet, despite this, I try my best not to blame her. It's not her fault for her brain being wired the way it is, and I don't blame any of my dates either. They can do whatever they want.
the sister is like, "Is it my fault?" He's like, "No, I'm just weird.
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
just
me.
me.
I'm terrible."
Right. The thing that makes me needlessly upset is that somehow my sister has been in more relationships than me. She's only had one, lol. And she's in 6th grade with mild autism. I love my sister to my grave, but gosh dang it, am I lonely. What do you guys think? And there are some comments here, but what do you guys think?
Ugh. It's tough. Because I think the only solution is some sort of care that
Yeah.
you need to find. And I know people were saying that's expensive, but he does have a little bit of government assistance. I don't know.
Just worth looking into.
Maybe we start going to like hobbies with her.
Yeah, I wish I could have a little bit more like information
Yeah.
because I wonder like, is it just something where is OP, you know, I'm assuming OP is telling the dates before they
Yeah.
get there, but
Mhm.
maybe
My sister's gonna be there.
yeah, like I'm assuming that if that's not the case, maybe tell them ahead of time.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, is it just a thing where it's like, well, the dates just feel like they just need a little bit more attention? Not that you need to ignore your sister, but maybe do you need to be a little bit more cuddly or something with them? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like something almost the lines of like, if you have your partner over with your family, like you still need to kind of give them
Yeah.
some affection and like some attention and acknowledgement that they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wonder if it's something easy like that can be fixed. Or maybe you just need to kind of have a different idea of who you're gonna date and end up with. We have some comments here. Comment number 1 says, "I'm sorry for your frustration. That's a lot to deal with. She sounds so sweet. I'd think that someone rejecting you over your sister is good because you wouldn't want to be with someone who isn't understanding of both of your situations."
Good point.
Yeah. I think it's attractive that a man cares that much for his family. In terms of having more time, are there any after school activities that she can join? My cousin has autism and they had special after school programs, but not sure if they're available where you live. I don't have much advice, but I do feel really bad for you and I'm wishing you luck. OP says she gets occupational and behavioral therapy like stuff in her school, but nothing extracurricular. She's been thinking of joining a club when she graduates into middle school, but she still has to psych herself up because being around a lot of people drains her mentally. So maybe I can help her prepare for that. Thanks. Comment 2 says, "Personally, I'd rather your partners do not put up with your sister than she is doing you a favor and getting rid of the bad ones. You are a great brother." OP says, "That's one way of framing it. Thanks." And we do have an update here. But
Oh.
okay. Yeah, so I mean, those commenters were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
We're thinking too.
If they don't vibe with your sister, then they
They just don't vibe with you.
They don't vibe with you.
That's all, man. I mean,
Mhm.
because some people out there dating who have like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And there are probably situations like those where they can't get care for their kids, so you just gotta date, and hang out with the kids too.
Yeah, you have to date. You have to go on a date with Shelly
Yeah.
and little Timmy and little Tina
Right.
and little Peggy Sue.
But we do have an update here. My little sister left my phone number for the cute waitress at a restaurant and somehow got me a date.
Wingman.
Let's go,
later.
little sister.
Yes.
That's a big
See?
little sister.
She was
win.
like, just give me a minute. I'm working.
Yeah. Like,
Those other people suck.
right.
Like, I was weird on purpose.
yeah, like, trust me, I'm fine.
Don't worry.
I took my sister to a restaurant that I frequent the other day. She was feeling down, so I thought I should treat her. While me and the waitress that usually takes my orders chatted away, she gave my sister some crayons and some papers to color on. Once we got our orders settled, my sister, being autistic, interpreted me and the waitress chat as flirting.
Yeah, she interpreted it. No.
Yeah.
She read that right.
She's like, dude,
Yeah.
you're the one that doesn't get it.
Yeah, she went, no. I'm seeing things that
Yeah.
are there.
Granted, I did have a little crush on her. The waitress was pretty cute.
Yeah.
But anyways, I tried to explain to her that the lady was just doing her job, but she insisted that she liked me and I should ask for her number. I gave her every reason in the book why that was considered rude and could even make her uncomfortable, but she was insistent that the waitress liked me. When it finally came down to leaving, my sister shoved one of her drawings into the bill booklet thing. I asked her what she drew for the waitress, but she said it was a secret. She was terrible at keeping it though, because on the way home, she couldn't stop snickering. When I managed to pry out what she thought was so funny, she admitted that she left my phone number in the bill with a picture of me and the waitress holding hands. Oh, wait, that's even better.
I love
She
that.
drew you guys holding hands on your
So
date?
good. So good.
This is the best.
No, honestly, for anyone who ever wants to ask out a person who is working, just leave your phone number. You compliment, you don't even have to say anything. But you either just leave it,
Yeah.
or you compliment them, say like, thought you were cute, here you go, walk away. Then they get to text you if they like you.
I was super embarrassed. I wasn't exactly mad that she left my number since I've thought of doing it a few times, but I still had to pretend to be upset so she doesn't accidentally get us doxxed or something. I told her that that wasn't cool and she promised not to do it again.
She said, I'll never do it
Yeah,
again.
sure.
You're welcome.
And for the next few hours, I resigned myself to never coming back to that restaurant. That is, until the waitress actually texted me. Long story short, I have a date coming up soon. Let's go.
Yay! Good work,
Good
sister.
work. Though I don't really see it going anywhere, it's still pretty nice. Since people seem to keep asking why I don't see it going anywhere, I meant that I don't expect it going anywhere. For all intents and purposes, I'm a parent to my sister. And at 24, most women I meet, understandably, aren't about that life. And though my sister is good at masking between autistic and public, she drops it around me. She's an armful, and I love her. But realistically, I don't see anyone making the effort to be with me long term. But that doesn't mean I can't try to find someone. I just keep my expectations tapered. And edit 2, I went on the date.
Woo!
It went great. My sister tagged along and we went to the mall together and had some ice cream. After I put my sister to sleep, the night ended in us hooking up.
It was too nice.
I'm guessing OP is just not sharing too many
OP
intimate
don't
details.
kiss and tell.
OP don't kiss and tell, you
No.
see. Come on.
Yeah, those details are for him.
So they had a good night, but it doesn't seem like she's looking for anything long term. However, she was interested in still having a friends with benefits relationship with me.
Oh.
Emphasis on the friends part.
Oh.
So I guess this is better than the other ones because this one maybe won't ghost you.
Yeah?
But she will seemingly
Friend
hook
zone
up with you.
Okay.
She got along so well with me and my sister. Heck, she could be a special ed teacher with how chill she was.
Dang.
Emphasis on the benefits too. Hee hee hee.
Okay.
From now on, she'll be sneaking in more loaves of bread into my appetizers.
Is that
Oh.
a euphemism?
As well as some other stuff, lol. That's more than I could ever ask for. We do have some comments here. Commenter 1 says, dang, your sister came in clutch. A true wing woman. And we do have an update.
Is it gonna get better? Are they gonna fall in love?
I don't know.
Please?
From the little few words that we had there, I'm scared that it's going to get worse.
No.
But
Boo.
I mean, I'm glad that at least he had a good experience so he knows that there are chill people out there.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
silver
true.
lining if he chooses to see it. On to the update. Why is it that since I'm newly in a relationship, I'm suddenly being on, or at least getting more attention from women. 4
Okay.
months later.
Okay, it's a lot of stuff going on in that
A
title.
lot of stuff going on.
Do not pull a Jamie from the last 5 years, in which, if you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
there's a whole song where he's like, the second that I'm married, all these women are trying to hit on me, but I gotta say no.
Like,
Don't.
yeah.
Why are we even talking about the other women? You know, like, why
Well,
are they?
sure.
Don't even talk about.
I
them.
could understand the frustration of being like, dude, what? Like, why is it happening now? Hopefully not like
Yeah.
look what I just missed out on.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Well, we have so much left, so let's see. 4 months later, this is my first real relationship that grew from a friends with benefits.
I knew it would.
Rare.
Call that.
Rare. And as the title suggested, it feels like more women are noticing me when I go out. For instance, while I was out taking my sister to the park, this lovely lady chatted me up and left her business card with me.
Okay.
And another time, the three of us were out at Dave & Buster's having a good time. This girl started openly flirting with me when my girlfriend was out of earshot. I don't know. Of course, I wasn't acting on any of these advances. But like, where were all these people when I was lonely as F earlier in my life, LMAO? There is a third update. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but I really relate to them, where it's like, girls who are like talking to, or like girls when like their crush starts talking to them and they're like really rude and just like ignore them and
Yeah.
walk away, and then girls when like someone they're not interested in talks to them, they're
Yeah.
like super friendly and nice. That's me.
Yeah.
So like I wonder if OP's doing that too, of like, you know, maybe you were interested and they were interested in you, but you were just so cold to them.
Yeah.
And now that you're not, then you're more open and friendly, you know?
Oh, see, I was taking that a different way. I thought you meant like because he's in a relationship, people are just more friendly because they're like, I don't
yeah,
have to
no.
worry about him
Oh,
thinking.
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it could be a combo.
It could be. Could be
Yeah.
lots of things.
Yay.
The time I effed up by unintentionally making my girlfriend's parents think I'm mentally handicapped during a family dinner. These titles are insane.
We have traversed many tales in this story.
Okay, and this is 3 years later.
Oh, I'm almost getting my 4-year update.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to call the end of the story.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
3 years later. Editor's note, I'm pretty sure this is the same girlfriend as the previous posts. I didn't see anything in OP's history indicating the contrary. So now OP says, for context, I'm the guardian of my autistic sister. She masks very well in public to the point of passing being normal.
Okay, well, she's not
being
abnormal.
Yeah. But when she's not masking, she can look really bratty at best and downright weird to other people at worst. I don't care. The goofball is my sister and I love her. Anyways, whenever I go on dates, she hangs out with friends she can trust to partially unmask with. But things came up for them, and this dinner I was invited to lined up with a time where her friends were all unavailable. I wanted to reschedule, but my girlfriend gave me a half apologetic, half worried look. This was with her parents. And her parents weren't the type to bend and reschedule unless I was in the hospital or something. I was already worried about meeting them before. I knew that they weren't exactly the warm and fuzzies type of people from the stories she's told. They were very much a product of their time, to say the least. But if they wanted me to come, I'd have to bring my sister. My sister was fine with coming along. Well, until we actually got there, 3 of us went, and God, was it awkward. My girlfriend had already briefed them about my situation. They knew I was my sister's guardian, and they knew that she was autistic. But what they didn't know was that autistic people can be functioning humans.
What? Shock.
Oh, no. When they introduced themselves to her, it was as if they were talking to a baby with their voices slow and high-pitched. My girlfriend cringed and reiterated to them that my sister isn't like the autistic kids that they're thinking of. My sister even shocked them by awkwardly laughing and introducing herself normally. Apparently, my girlfriend has been trying to tell them for months that she can mask, but what they didn't quite understand was what that meant until literally now.
They're
Well-
like, she wears a mask? I don't.
Yeah.
Does she have the
vid is over.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Right. They didn't know until literally now. Well, kind of. They still had their own idea of how an autistic person should act. Of course, neither me or my sister wanted to be rude, and we tried being polite, but man, was their assumptions grating. On top of interrogating me about my job, they kept bringing up that it's okay for my sister to unmask. Of course, she didn't. She wasn't comfortable. She eventually excused herself, and I followed her. As we left, I overheard my girlfriend berating her parents for being so rude. We went outside, and I comforted my sister. She was not having a good time here and wanted to go home. I agreed, and to make her feel better, we joked about what she'd look like to them unmasking, and since both of us are meme poop posters, we pretend to be stereotypical autistic kids that my girlfriend's parents were definitely thinking of. The F up, we kept up the act a bit too long, and my girlfriend and her dad walked out on us looking like idiots. Something clicked in his head, and he started giving me that stay away from my daughter vibe. I let him know that my sister wasn't feeling well and we were going to head out. He gruffly agreed. And before my girlfriend could come with us, her dad told her to stay. They had something to discuss. All my girlfriend could do was give me a I'm so effing sorry look. And by the way, I would be so effing sorry if you didn't know that we had full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime. And there is more to the story, but okay. Well, silver lining.
Yeah.
Girlfriend's on our side.
Yeah. Love that.
Love that. Another silver lining, at least they're trying.
Yeah. Coal lining, they kind of suck.
Yeah, they just don't seem, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's off.
And now they think that you're also autistic.
But then his reaction to that of like staying
Yeah,
away
you
from
can't
my
be near
daughter is like
now.
strange.
Very strange.
We didn't get a lot of detail on that part,
Yeah,
obviously.
I want to
but
know what he talked to his
Yeah.
daughter about.
We might learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have more to the story, so let's find out, hopefully. The next day, me and my girlfriend met up, and she looked so done with life. Safe to say, I don't think I have her parents' blessing, and it won't be anytime soon.
Well, they don't have my blessing, so
So, yeah, there you go.
they should not. They should get unmarried because I didn't give them my blessing.
Luckily, she doesn't really care and is on my side. But I would have liked to have been on her parents' good side before I popped the question with my girlfriend. Even I didn't have to interact with them. And there are some comments here. Comment number 1 says, I don't understand why your sister can't be left alone. You claim the severity of her autism is such that she can mask, but even people who can't mask can be alone in a house for a few hours. Make it make sense. Opie says, not to go into too much details, but it's for legal reasons, a stipulation for the government benefits and aid. Her friends and families are looped in, and at least one of their parents are there in some capacity to help supervise when my sister is hanging out with them.
She's also, I mean, now she's 15 probably, but at the time
Yeah.
she was young.
Yeah, she's very, so that
Yeah.
totally makes sense why it's like, well, yeah, you can't just leave your like 6th grade child at home.
Yeah.
Comment 2 says, your girlfriend stood up to her parents? She's a keeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy thing to do for most people unless there's already been a substantial break with them. Opie says, yeah, I'm lucky to be with her. Her family has had some difference these past few years, but she's trying her best to still be close with them. She's been able to change their minds on certain topics, but others not so much. Comment 3 says, the missing word in the title is chef's kiss. OP says, typing this out on my phone was a pain, lol. Oh well. Comment 4 says, you're a dang good brother, and your girlfriend seems very cool too. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't get on well with a partner's parents, but that's okay, because you and your girl are all that matter in your relationship. And that's the end of that story.
Yay.
It sure is.
Yeah, I'm glad you really went from, can't find anybody, there's no one there for me, to friends with benefits, to full-time girlfriend, to I think I want to, propose.
Yeah, thinking about marriage here.
Pretty cool.
My sister refused to help herself, so I sent her to a shelter.
That's a little extreme.
I, 32 female, had always worked very hard in school to make sure I could go to college. I grew up very poor, and I knew that I had to do something other than loans. Luckily, my grades were good enough that I got a full ride for my 2 degrees. By the way, this comes from Key Evagria, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, my husband grew up poor too, even lived out of his car once, but he put himself through college as well. We've worked hard to buy a very modest little home for us and our son, 2 years old.
Nice.
The mortgage is hard, but we're making it. My sister, 21, who we'll call Britt, barely finished high school and has always struggled to keep a job or place of residence. She will frequently refuse to wake up to her alarms, miss shifts as a no-call, no-show, and generally go through jobs in a couple of weeks. When she bothers to get one, maybe 2 or 3 a year since she was 18. Due to this, she never has any money of her own to pay for rent, food, etc. She relies on everyone else, her friends, her ex's family, etc., to house her and take care of her. down to the fact that she requires everyone to chauffeur her around because she refuses to even get her driver's permit. She found out recently that she is 11 weeks pregnant. Britt is a horrible roommate. Never cleans, never contributes to the household in any way. Frequently forces other people to clean up her mess or move around the huge pile of things she keeps around. About a week ago, Britt finally lost her very last option for a place to live because none of her friends or even our family will allow her to live with them anymore. She called me and said she needed somewhere to live. We, me, my husband, and my 2-year-old son, picked her up along with her things, but we were very clear with her on that first night that we were not a long-term option. We simply cannot afford her. We told her our house rules. Don't be a knucklehead. Contribute. No shoes in the house. No rocks in the kitchen.
No rocks in the kitchen.
What is that? Is that just because you have a little kid and he likes rocks, or is that like something that we don't know about?
Do you like rocks in the kitchen? What? How did this rule come to be? Everything seemed plain and simple until no rocks in the kitchen. Maybe that's a thing that we don't know. Maybe that's just
Google
a
it.
term. But
Simple. We printed her out a packet of all our local shelters, long-term housing locations for homeless pregnant women, and even found her resources for the city of her choice, which was an hour and a half from where we live. We wrote her a script of what she needed to tell them or ask about. We told her if she had any questions, just ask and we will help. The next morning, Britt was asleep on the couch until afternoon. I figured lots of stress, you need to rest, fine. My 2-year-old and I were okay to sit on the floor and play or go outside until she woke up. When she did, she stayed fully stretched out and didn't move a muscle unless she had to go to the bathroom. Then right back to her spot playing on her phone. Whole couch claimed again. Nearing the end of the day, I asked if she had made any calls yet, and she said no. I said that some of these places have wait lists, and it was better to get on them sooner than later. She said, well, everywhere is probably closed. I'll call tomorrow. I was fine with that too. Fast forward a week. Same thing every dang day. She refused to move at all beyond going to the bathroom. She made me do everything for her, even when my son and I had ear infections and were desperately exhausted.
OP, you knew this was going to happen. All of her friends, all of your family said no to her. You were doing her a kindness, sure, but you knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think OP's shocked.
I know, but it seems like she's a little shocked. She's like, after a week, nothing.
I don't think she's very shocked.
Ugh.
She wouldn't even get up to get her own food. We finally sat her down and forced her to make calls. The places she wanted that were better suited for her pregnancy were, of course, full and needed her to be on a list. So the only place that would take her was a kind of shady place. No judgment at all. Everyone goes through their own things. I am very grateful for places like this and the wonderful people who volunteer. They said they had a bed for her, so we took her. She was terrified and was visibly upset with me. I'm so worried for her, but she refuses to do anything for herself.
Why is she upset at you?
Yeah.
The only person she should be upset at is herself.
I know that if I didn't make her act, she would continue this behavior and suck more energy and funds out of us endlessly. Now she isn't talking to me and my family thinks I'm heartless. Am I the a-hole for forcing her into an uncomfortable situation so that she can be more self-sufficient? And by the way, I'm forcing you guys to listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. We have an edit to add.
One more time. The rest of your family's upset that you are treating her like this. Did she say that correctly? Did I hear that correctly?
Now she isn't talking to me and my family thinks I'm heartless.
Your family thinks you're heartless because they did the exact same thing?
Right. If they want to call you heartless, they should take her.
Yeah. Oh, you're heartless, OP. Hey, why don't you take her in?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you didn't. I don't know. That's very weird. Again, this is the consequences of her actions or lack of therefore actions of getting a job, doing anything she can do. I know she's pregnant. It does suck. But there's a reason why no one wants her.
Editing to add, we even said that if we had the funds and a room for her, we would have loved to keep her longer than we did. We wanted to really help her and educate her. But we're just getting by as it is, and we literally couldn't afford to keep her. Second edit. She has had several opportunities for therapy, counseling, and has been encouraged and helped with mental health professionals. We are very supportive of her doing that and have tried to enable her to do so. I myself am diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and ADHD.
That's a whole concoction right there.
Most of my life, I have been unmedicated due to lack of insurance, etc. I know how helpful those things can be. She has always had insurance and rides to appointments until my grandparents kicked her out. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any of your family want to talk, they can take her.
Yeah, and again, she can't do the point the finger at you. I mean, she can, because guess what? She's pointing 3 fingers back at her. It really does suck, and I know you want to help, but she wasn't even making your situation any easier.
Yeah.
And she didn't even understand. You gave her the rules, and she...
Including no rocks in the kitchen.
Yeah, I looked that up. There's a couple things, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe just don't have any rocks in the kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, OP. I know this is the cold splash of water to her, and she needs to... She's an adult. She needs to adult here.
Yeah,
You
hopefully
can-
this helps. I hope that she can get on the wait list for those other places and get into a less questionable one.
Yeah. You can help if she needs help in, a certain matter, but she cannot stay with you. That's it.
My brother tricked his wife into naming their kids after comic book characters.
Wait, I don't know any. I would give an example, but I don't know any.
Like Spider-Man?
This is my kid, the Flash.
This is my kid, Green Lantern.
I can't figure out if I did anything wrong. Or if so, what? Because I honestly have no idea what's going on. Hopefully someone here can give me a clue. Here's the relevant info as far as I know. My brother and his wife are expecting their first girl after 2 boys. I love Ricky and Jace, and so does my sister-in-law, but she has always wanted a girl and is very excited to be having one. She also wants to name the girl Chloe, as she loves that name. My brother hates the name Chloe and really wants to name their daughter Stephanie. Stephanie! They have been arguing about it for a few weeks since finding out the gender. By the way, this comes from just being honest for. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, I got to my parents' house late last night, and my sister-in-law was the only person still awake. We talked for a little bit, and she asked me the weirdest question. She asked me if I knew any stories about Great Aunt Stephanie. I was so confused. I literally said, who?
Oh, no.
What? Comic book character Stephanie.
I think we're about to find out. But, dude, he went that route with it, though?
Yeah, he lied. He said, no. It's important to me because my great aunt, Stephanie. Sister-in-law clarified that she was talking about our grandmother's older sister that passed away when Grandma was a little girl. Our grandma had 2 sisters, but their names were Judy and Lynn. There's no one in our family named Stephanie as far as I know. I told as much to my sister-in-law. She changed the subject after that, and we soon went to bed. This morning, my brother and his wife were both sulking during breakfast. Even the kids could tell. Ricky kept saying, stop being grumpy on Christmas. So it wasn't just my imagination. I got my brother alone and confronted him. He snapped at me for meddling and told me to stay out of his marriage. OP didn't do anything.
Okay, I got Stephanie.
Well, I think we'll find out, so don't tell us yet. My brother is pissed at me, and my sister-in-law won't even talk to me. I'm afraid to say anything to my parents and drag them into this, especially since I still don't know what this is. Either my grandmother had a secret sister that I don't know about, but my brother does for some reason, or my brother lied to his wife to convince her to name their baby Stephanie. Both options seem equally weird to me. Maybe there's a third possibility I'm not seeing? And Reddit, am I the a-hole? If so, please explain to me why. I don't want to be the reason Christmas is ruined, and we've got comments. But OP doesn't even know what's going on. You're not the a-hole.
So brother-in-law.
Yes.
Is
no,
the
brother.
One, oh, brother.
Sister-in-law. Yeah.
Brother wants to name them after the comic books.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh.
That's just in the title. So far, all we know is that brother wants to name his kid Stephanie.
Yes. And the
sister-in-law
wife wants to name it
his wife.
Chloe.
Yes.
And then the grandma had an older sister.
And
s-
brother
presumably
told
Stephanie.
his wife that the sister's name was
Oh.
Stephanie.
So
But it's not
basically, he's
real.
lying about the name
Yes.
Stephanie. Baby
Got
name
it.
Stephanie.
So he just really wants. So
He
this
just
is
really wants
big,
Stephanie, and we don't know
fatty,
why
fat
yet.
lie.
It's a
Got
weird
it.
tactic. If I was the brother and I confronted him, like, don't be meddling. What are you planning, man? Maybe
What am I
put me
meddling
in.
in?
Yes, maybe I could be on your side. Maybe I'll support you, but I have no idea what you're doing here.
Yeah, he's like, don't meddle in things you don't understand. And you're like, I didn't even understand I was meddling. Relevant comments. More info. My brother thinks Stephanie is the perfect name and hates any suggestion that isn't that. He picked Ricky's and Jace's name, so my sister-in-law feels it's her turn. And I'm somewhat inclined to agree, even though it isn't my place to say so. And my brother should accept what she likes. Well, to be fair, his wife also liked the name Richard, so that was sort of a mutual pick, even though he suggested it. But she counts it as his pick, and he says they decided mutually. For their second son, he really, really wanted to name him Jason.
What?
Dick,
Yep.
Jason, and Stephanie.
Yep.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Wait,
Dick
who?
Grayson,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Todd, and Stephanie,
Stephanie
who plays
Brown.
Batgirl.
Yep. got
Oh,
it.
these are all the Bat children. He's Batman. He's
We haven't
Batman.
connected it yet. But I'm so happy you figured that out. Oh my god. Yes. I gotta name my kid Stephanie now.
I don't know any of this.
really hope that
We'll break it
anyone
down.
in the
I'm not a
comments
frickin' nerd.
figures this out. She thought it was a fine name, so she just went with it. But she's way more passionate about Chloe than she was about any of the boy names she suggested when pregnant with Jace. Update. Oh boy. Most awkward Christmas Eve dinner ever. Everyone now knows what my brother was doing with the kids' names, except the kids, obviously. They're pissed. Weirdly, my mom is the most pissed. A Christmas truce is in place for the kids, so no fighting on the holiday. However, the baby is definitely gotta be named Chloe. My brother very quickly backed down when my mom said some few choice words to him. The topic is completely banned for the rest of the festivities, so for now at least, they've tied a bow on the sitch. Christmas morning update. Aside from some glaring over a couple of the boys' stocking stuffers, Robin Funko Pops, and Savannah, that's because Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are both Robins, like, you know, Batman and Robin. There have been multiple Robins,
Oh.
and those are two of the Robins.
Oh.
Everything went well with the gift giving, as well as being woken up at 5:30 a.m. by being jumped on by one's nephew, Can. I think my brother realizes he crossed a line and has been very attentive to his wife. He mentioned getting Chloe's name embroidered on some stuff when they get home. He even told Mom he would do the Christmas breakfast so she could have a break. And he gave me an I'm sorry grin when I opened his gift. I think everything is going to be fine. The comment that put it together. So we have the comment that maybe clued OP in. Anonymous says, so is Stephanie, she was Robin before Batgirl or someone. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't really know Stephanie either until
I'm
reading
not
about
as
it.
familiar with Stephanie. I mostly know my DC lore from Young Justice and like,
Gotcha.
the animated
If,
stuff.
if you look up Batman's kids, she's not usually mentioned.
Yeah. Comment. Your brother is a comics fan, right? Is he by any chance a big Batman fan? Because I'm seeing a kind of pattern with these names. OP says, yeah, big time. How did you know? Comment says, let's just say if this baby had been a boy, he would have suggested Tim.
Yep.
OP says, that was the name he wanted if they were having a boy. How did you know that? Comment says, these are all the names of the former Robins, as in Batman and Richard Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne. OP says, I'm going to confirm this on Wikipedia, but if you're right, and I can't imagine why you would make that up, my brother is about to be in so much trouble. And there's an update.
Oh, dude, this is pretty dope, though.
This is very funny. Update! I told Mikey and his wife that I posted on Reddit. Mikey was confused that I figured out what he was doing because he knows I have no interest in comics. So I sent both of them the post. Mikey was really embarrassed when he read what many of you said. Mikey is playful and loves his kids more than anything. Our family has always been one to tolerate small, short-term white lies for the sake of harmless pranks. However, Mikey's lie wasn't small, short-term, or harmless. He hurt his wife's feelings deeply. Mikey says, and sister-in-law confirmed, that he was never insistent about naming my oldest nephew Richard. There were other names he suggested, but she liked Richard, so they picked it. Mikey spends a lot of time with Ricky. He often takes him to job sites and lets Ricky pretend to be his assistant. He has this playful thing with Ricky that he's Mikey's sidekick and they're a team. It's sweet. Here endeth the sweetness. When my sister-in-law was pregnant again, Mikey wanted to replicate the Robin thing. He went, I have an opportunity. It's my moment. He wanted to name this son after the next Robin, Jason.
Jason Todd.
My sister-in-law wasn't as big of a fan of that name, but she also didn't have a name she loved. Mikey was very persistent about the name, so she decided it was fine. He never told her why he wanted that name, just said he really liked it. My sister-in-law said to him, and to me as well, she didn't have a problem with the fact that he got the name from a comic book. She gets what the meaning is to him, even though she doesn't like comics, and she does think it's cute. Her issue is that he lied by omission. Even though she wouldn't have cared about the name, he lied, just in case she might have. And if it had been something she wouldn't have approved of, she would want to have been able to say no. However, even this she would not have been too mad about. The lie of omission became an active lie when he made up a family member to convince her to name the next kid after a Robin. Stephanie.
That's true.
When there was a girl named she loved, Chloe. That's not a small lie for a cute prank.
Also, Chloe is from Smallville.
Dang. He's like, I'm still winning. No big deal. Even though Mikey was defensive initially after they had a private conversation this morning, he realized how wrong he was and apologized. My sister-in-law said he was very sincere, and Mikey has never been good at faking sincerity. He feels very bad for taking advantage of her trust. He feels even worse that it involved their kids. By the way, you can feel good if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Well, in my notes, I said, what's wrong with naming them that? And we figured out it's not the naming, it's more of the reason behind it, that it was
The
like a
lies.
whole lie. And I
Yes.
understand that. And
Lies
then
are
I also
bad.
put, this could just be a weird coincidence.
He's like, what?
Like,
What? No way.
No.
I had no idea.
As he hides his comic books behind him.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think it is weird, but also it's his passion, I guess. But the thing is, he should have said, like, oh, we should name him after the, thing. Sofa King also says she could be Chloe Stephanie. Could be a middle name now.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
But there's a little bit left. This whole thing has soured my sister-in-law on the name Chloe. Now it only reminds her of the fight and hurt. She wants to come up with a completely new name. Maybe one related to her hobby, like Mallory or Rita. What does that have to do with her hobby? She's gonna take some time to not think about it. Their marriage isn't in danger, but a wound is there. Now that Mikey has admitted fault, it can heal, and it will with time.
Maybe you should suggest Selena. Selena Kyle.
Yeah, I like it. If you learn anything from Mikey, learn that everyone makes mistakes. If someone truly loves you, they can usually forgive you. However, to earn that forgiveness, you have to admit to what you did, not double down and try to trick your way out of it. And that's the end of the story. And there
Dang.
you go.
Well, he still basically won. Because she didn't notice it until like later on.
I didn't
So,
notice until OP found out from Reddit. So,
yeah.
Dude, if my brother did this and I was planning something and he wasn't on my side,
yeah.
I'd be pretty pissed at him.
It'd be like, what the heck?
I don't
I
understand.
had a whole thing going on.
Right. I think, OP, you're kind of the a-hole. You didn't bring your brother aside and talk to him about it. I would at least give him an ultimatum if I really felt bad.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you're either going to tell her or I am. Not just send the post to him in a group chat. What the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's tough.
I do not like the way you went about that, OP.
It seems to have gone well, but yeah, maybe not. But that's the end. Calvin Scott says, name the baby Gwen Stacy. Low key, I've been thinking about it. And I don't want to name my baby after Gwen Stacy, but I was thinking about the name Guinevere. And like shortening it to Gwen.
Don't you have a
See, I
friend?
like Genevieve.
Don't I have a friend, Guinevere?
Yeah. At that party that one time?
Yeah, there was a party recently.
The winter solstice?
yeah. No, when we
That's
just
what I
went to, when we were just at your house for Easter, the girl who was there.
Her name
No,
was
that was-
Guinevere?
Genevieve.
Oh,
It was
Genevieve, whatever.
It's totally different. Because I like the
Your
like
cousin, babe.
Camelots.
You said Guinevere. That was Maddie's friend's name.
I don't care.
What is happening right now?
I'm just saying I like the name Guinevere.
Yeah, that's her name.
Okay? I've only met her once.
Anyways, whatever.
Riley, you're gonna like my name if I ever have a girl.
What? Is it Riley?
It's Eden.
Aw, Eden, like,
love
oh, that's
I knew
cute.
an Eden.
I love the name Eden.
She
You
was
call
okay.
her Biggie. Here comes the Biggie. I just think of my dad saying that, and I would love it. Here comes Biggie.
So far, I like the names Gwen and Lucy.
Oh, my cousin's name's Lucy.
Lucy's cute.
She's fun.
What if I name my kids Arthur
Citrine.
and Gwen? That's kind of weird though, because they're married.
She named one Pam.
Pam.
My boy names, my number one boy name is Casey. I love
Casey.
Casey for a guy.
Philip,
Abraham DeLacy,
Philip and Lee.
Thomas.
I also like
O'Malley.
Levi.
That's my cousin's
I
name.
know a Levi.
Levi's cute.
Yeah, one
right?
of my family friends' kids is named Levi.
Yeah, Levi's cute.
Levi is a cute name.
My sister-in-law talks about me behind my back. Now I don't want her at my wedding.
Your wedding, your rules.
For reference, sister-in-law, 27 female, and I, 22 female, are not close whatsoever. However, fiancé sister, 20 female, and I are close, and fiancé, 24 male, is close with my brothers, 19 and 18 female. Me and fiancé are currently planning our wedding. With that, we both picked who was going to be in the bridal party, trying to stick with people who are close to both of us. His side is his brother, my brothers, and some friends from work. My side is his sister and some of our close friends. By the way, this comes from Worried Cucumber 8964, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah,
I'm Carly.
and we're here to give some good advice goofily, yet we do not have all of the answers. We'd only let you know what we would do in this situation, but you should let us know what you would do down in the comments. As Uppy says, here is where things get messy. Sister-in-law messaged me asking when I was going to ask her to be in our wedding so she could be prepared, whatever that means. I politely messaged her back saying I had already asked all my bridesmaids, but she was more than welcome to come to the bachelorette party. She then responded with, okay. The next day, when my fiance got home from work, he told me his mom called asking why sister-in-law was not included in the wedding. He said he told her to the best of his knowledge why, but was not 100% sure why. Mother-in-law then told him sister-in-law had to be included because it was only fair considering fiance's brother and sister and my brothers are in the wedding. I then messaged mother-in-law and sister-in-law after agreeing with my fiance that if sister-in-law wants to be in the wedding, she will be standing on the groom's side in a matching tux with the rest of his party. Okay, that's weird. Why? I don't understand why she would have to be on the groom's side, but okay.
Because bride is refusing, I think. So I think she's saying, like, so I'll force your husband to? Maybe.
I guess. I don't know. I then messaged both saying sister-in-law has never been nice to me in the 3 years I have been with fiance and makes no effort to try to get to know me. Sister-in-law nor mother-in-law have said anything to me yet, but I will talk to my fiance when he's off work. Sister-in-law told fiance, mother-in-law, and fiance's sister that I was mean to her husband while watching our rival schools play. A lot to handle and too much for her after the first and second time meeting 3 years ago. I will say I am a bit of an extrovert and love to talk to people, especially if I am trying to get to know you. But she has never tried to get to know me after that. I have tried to make small talk, but either get short answers or just outright ignored. Also, to top the cake, sister-in-law will message fiance and fiance's sister's boyfriend before ever talking to me or his sister. Fiance's sister said sister-in-law has not tried to get to know her in the 6 years she has known her, but has a streak with her boyfriend of 3 years and my fiance. So, am I the a-hole for not having her in our wedding? And there are some comments. No, I don't think you're the a-hole.
I'm like, why is she not trying to get close to you? That's such a weird... Like, she's mad that your, like, local rival schools
Yeah, I think...
played? I'm just... Seems really petty and, like, a really tiny thing to hold, I'm not gonna ever get to know OP because of this.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like that was just, like, the first thing that she said, probably not even thinking. But then, like, the other ones were like, oh, well, like, she's just a little too much. Like, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I hate when people say others are too much.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I get, like, people get annoying too much, where it's like, okay, like, you just need attention. But, I don't know. I think there's a limit. But also, she's obviously going to be in your life. way more now, so you might want to get to know her.
I feel like OP's tried though, and she won't have a conversation back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you're telling. Yeah, I got you.
There are some relevant comments. Commenter number 1, if you don't want her in the wedding itself, can you at least assure her that she can sit with her husband during dinner? OP responds, she was invited to sit with her husband during dinner, join us in getting ready, and also hanging out with us for pictures. The one and only thing she would not be is in the wedding. Commenter number 2 says, your wedding is the one day you get to veto whatever you want. That also very much includes a sister-in-law who does not even seem to like you. Why would you want someone who does not like you in your wedding party? This is why having a very small wedding party and not trying to match the sides is a much better idea in my opinion. There is just too much drama with wedding parties and hurt feelings. OP responds, we both have small wedding parties. I have 5 girls and he has 5 guys. Picked by both of us. No matching, just people who we feel are the closest to the both of us. Commenter number 3 says, the wedding is one day of the rest of your life. You do not want to make your life unpleasant by alienating your sister-in-law and making her feel excluded. It does not matter that you are not close. I was not in my sister-in-law's wedding, and I was not close to her. But she did ask me to be her proxy bride during the rehearsal. It is okay if you do not have her as a bridesmaid, but you should find a way to include her in other ways. OP responds, in no way were we trying to make her feel excluded. She was invited to everything like a normal bridesmaid. We even offered to let her get ready with and my bridesmaids when we initially told her she was not a bridesmaid, which she did not really seem to care about. I was genuinely trying to include her until this moment where she decided it would be fun to play the victim. She is very manipulative towards mother-in-law. Not sure what a proxy bride is, but would definitely consider it. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. Commenter number 4 says, I had never heard of a proxy bride either, but apparently it is a thing. Basically, at the rehearsal, I stood in place of the bride when everything was staged so she could see what everything would look like and she could decide if she wanted to move people around. It just allows her to see what things will look like in advance, which she would not be able to see if she were up on the stage at rehearsal. Okay, so like a stand-in.
Yeah, a stand-in. It's weird to call them proxy bride. Like, I get it. Weird naming.
Yeah, I don't get it. I had never heard of it, but it makes sense now that I am aware of it. OP responds, we'll definitely talk to fiancé about this. My only worry would be her thinking she is getting a better position than bridesmaid. Commenter number 5 says, you are not wrong in the fact that she should not have asked to be in the wedding party and that was out of line. But you did not handle it like a mature adult. You have seen the other comments. You could have handled it in a much more mature and reasonable manner. You should have sat down with your fiancé and composed a response together, and he should have been the one to deliver it since it is his family, and you have created a rift that was not necessary. OP responds, this was a response that me and fiancé agreed upon. No, it was not very mature, but responses like this are the only way to get through to sister-in-law, sadly. Fiancé did not send a message because he is not a very confrontational person and knows that he would let sister-in-law walk all over him, whereas I would not and will stand my ground. Also should have mentioned that sister-in-law knew well before this day that she would not be in the wedding and did not seem to mind, even saying, it's okay, we're not that close. Mother-in-law will be calling me here shortly, so I will have a bigger update. Commenter number 6 says, not to harp on the maturity aspect of all this, but why are you getting married at 22 years old, military or Mormon? OP responds, neither. We are both financially and emotionally ready. We have been through ups and downs, and I know this man and his family are my biggest supporters except sister-in-law, and this is the man I want to spend my life with. And there's an update 3.5 weeks later.
Ooh.
I mean, do you think she's going to put her as proxy?
I mean, I am just learning about proxy. If that's like, it doesn't sound like anything that someone would take as like better than maid of honor. I don't think you need to include her in anything if you don't want to. Like, she's invited to the wedding. She's allowed to sit with her husband.
Yeah.
It's really all you can ask for.
She just doesn't have the title of being a bridesmaid.
Right.
Like, and doesn't have the
Boo-hoo.
responsibilities. Like, I don't know. I'd be like,
it.
yeah. I'd
She's
be like,
still
great.
allowed to get ready with them and everything.
Exactly. Like, she still is doing everything that they're doing, just not considered a bridesmaid. I don't know. I feel like this is like a
I'm
problem for no
wondering
reason.
how far out from the wedding it is. Like, could they even get a dress in time if she wanted to be one? Like,
That's
if
true.
OP wanted her to be one?
Yeah. I have no idea. but there is an update 3.5 weeks later. Before we get started, I do want to point out a couple things. Sister-in-law was invited to everything. Bachelorette trip, getting ready with us, and even taking pictures. The one thing she was not invited to was being in the wedding. So she basically just didn't have to walk down the aisle and stand there.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people are saying it is his family, so he needs to deal with that. But his family is my family, so it was not a big deal for me to handle it. My parents are divorced. We are no contact with my father, and my mother passed away when I was 20. Ay. I have since taken in both of my younger brothers. When deciding on if this was the right choice, his family was my biggest supporters and took me and my brothers under their wing. Mother-in-law and father-in-law are amazing. For those who are going to ask why I had taken in my brothers at the age of 20, I had felt this was the best decision for both of my brothers. I was financially able to take them in, and me and fiance had just bought a 3-bed, 2-bath house, so we had the room. I work 2 jobs to make sure they both have everything they need, and I am even helping the oldest through trade school. Sister-in-law is a very rude and entitled person, thinking that her way goes and nobody else's opinions matter. Another reason why we are not super close. She is my fiance's sister-in-law. She married his brother. Oh, so that's not even his real sister.
No.
So it's his sister-in-law. Oh, what?
Yes. And his brother is in the wedding
So,
party. Yeah. He's a groomsman.
okay. Yeah, no, I would be like, maybe if it was a sister-in-law, but it's like his sister-in-law as well. Like, I
Yes.
thought it was gonna, like, she's saying sister-in-law, like, she's
No.
going to be. That's dumb.
Yes.
Like, I don't think this should be an issue at all. Who cares? Now, time for the update. I got off the phone with mother-in-law, and it cleared up a lot of things. I love my fiance, but he is definitely something. Mother-in-law was completely okay with me not having sister-in-law in the wedding. She just wanted me to include sister-in-law and everything still, like the bachelorette party and getting ready with us, which my fiance misunderstood. I also found out that sister-in-law has said a lot of mean things to mother-in-law about me. Mother-in-law knows that I am someone who does not care what other people say, so she felt it was not important to tell me when sister-in-law would say stuff like she is mean or I do not like her, because she knows it would not bother me. But after this whole situation, sister-in-law had told mother-in-law some things that did not sit right with mother-in-law, father-in-law, me, nor my fiance. After texting mother-in-law and sister-in-law that sister-in-law has never been nice to me, sister-in-law texted mother-in-law saying, I do not think she is a good fit for our family.
Which is a wild thing to say when you also married into the family.
Yep, yeah. Girl, you're in the same boat. When mother-in-law asked why, sister-in-law said because she is 22 and raising 2 boys. Yeah, not because of her circumstances. Not by, like, sheer enjoyment or, like, because she...
And, like, even if she did, like, okay, get over it. It's not
Yeah.
your life.
And they're her brothers. Who cares? I would
Right.
think that that's very honorable and very heroic to, like, be able to, you know, work 2 jobs, like, still have time to get married and also take care of your 2 younger brothers. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a very honorable thing, and it shouldn't be like, oh, she takes care of her family. I don't want her in my family. That's weird. Makes no sense.
Really weird move, sister-in-law.
Yeah. Mother-in-law then told her not to say stuff like that and stood up for me, saying how good I had been doing with them and how proud mother-in-law is of me for everything I have done and given to my brothers. Sister-in-law then said, well, fiance signed up to marry her, not her and her brothers. Girl, what is your issue? Who cares? Like, this was not... She doesn't talk to her dad, and her mom has passed away. So...
Right. Why are you so concerned with this? And also, I'm sure fiance has since signed up to also take care of her brothers.
yeah.
They wouldn't be getting married if that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Mother-in-law then reminded her that me and fiance got engaged 1.5 years after her brothers were brought into the picture. Sister-in-law has not talked to me since the situation started. She has tried talking to my fiance, but he is only talking to his brother and not her. After hearing everything, I asked sister-in-law if she could come to the house so we could talk, but she has not said anything. By the way, I'm going to say something, and it's that you should watch full episodes with stories just like these. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left. Any final thoughts?
No, I feel like you know what's right, OP, and it sounds like the family's all on your side now, too.
Yeah.
So,
Seems like everyone's kind of taking your side, which
yeah.
good,
I think they'll probably all start telling her to shut up pretty soon.
hopefully. I'm at the point where I do not even want her at the wedding, but fiance's brother said if she was not invited, He would not go, and he is the best man. I genuinely do not know what to do. Fiancé and his brother both still have a good relationship. Fiancé's brother has never said anything about my brothers or the way that me and fiancé are raising them. He has even offered to help if we ever need anything, and even got the oldest a job for when he gets out of trade school in May. What do I do? There are somewhat relevant comments, but OP clarifies on how her fiance's sister-in-law is an only child. Ooh. OP responds, she is my fiance's sister-in-law. She married my fiance's brother. Commenter number 1 says, excluding mother-in-law, I wish someone would ask her why she is so okay with the males in the family. She ignores OP and her fiance's sister, but has no problem contacting their significant others. Even though they are all in relationships, she does not like competition. I would call her out. OP responds, she has been called out multiple times, and she has never had an answer. We all say she hates us because she wants our men. Ooh.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's weirdly jealous.
Right.
But she
is
is
her
married.
husband not like about that?
I have no idea. Oh my gosh, and that's actually the end of it as well.
Oh, joy.
Wow. So
She weird.
she just seems like she has a lot of issues, a lot of insecurities, a lot
Yeah.
of, she doesn't even like to, you're trying to solve the problem, being like, hey, let's just sit down and talk because you keep
Right.
talking to everyone else but me when I'm, you're the one with the problem about me. So let's just sit down and talk about it. And she just doesn't answer, but then calls your fiance. Huh? Yeah. Nah. Whatever. I mean, just invite her to the wedding because it's going to be chaos if she's not there. But, it doesn't mean you have to, pay attention to her and cater her. Just, she's going to be just a normal guest, and hopefully she doesn't cause any issues. I doubt she will, but, you never know. But, yeah, that's the end of that story.
My sister-in-law wanted us all involved in her son's birthday, but it's too much.
He can't get older.
So for a long time, my sister-in-law and her husband have wanted a playground at home for their son, my nephew. His 5th birthday is coming up, and we were spitballing ideas about what to get for him. Me, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law's mom, and sister-in-law had a group chat to discuss birthday ideas. I brought up some outdoor equipment, and then my mother-in-law said she wanted to do a playground. By the way, this comes from I don't know how to Reddit. Please help. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. My sister-in-law then took it to our family group chat, which included me, my husband, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and sister-in-law's husband in regards to it. We all thought it might be a collaborative effort, and I voiced that we were willing to contribute to the setup or adding a piece of equipment for a playground area. Mother-in-law tried to kind of take over. She sent a couple of really nice swing sets from Amazon and said, I'm willing to get these for him if you guys create a space and maybe add a couple of things. Sister-in-law said she'd been looking at something just like that, and I voiced ideas for things to add to it. It seemed like a done deal. Fast forward to today, and my sister-in-law starts sending $600 to $800 wooden swing sets. I brought it up to her about what her mom said she was willing to get, and she said, me and hubby are still browsing and deciding what we want to do. And she said the playset she had decided on. Mother-in-law said, so who's paying for all this? Are you going to put it on credit? Implying that she wasn't paying for it. She had already sent the links to playsets she was willing to pay for, and sister-in-law wanted one several $100s more expensive. Sister-in-law said she and her husband would have to discuss payment because they don't have the money for it. Then you don't have that playset. The question was brought up of whether we were all contributing towards it. She assumed that since her mom had already sent playsets she was willing to pay for, that she would be willing to pay for the one they wanted. I was quick to clarify, and I was rude about it. When she created the group chat, she made it a collaborative effort, but then she specified multiple times that she hadn't decided on anything yet, and that she was browsing. Stop browsing! Stop telling us about how you're browsing! I don't care. And that she would let us know what her decision was, essentially shutting the rest of us out. I'm not unreasonable, and I do understand that it's their yard and everything, but we had all clearly stated what we were willing to contribute before she decided they wanted a nicer swing set and didn't have the money to pay for it. We all wanted to be a part of creating something special for the boy. I said, I thought mother-in-law was getting those swing sets she sent earlier, and we were contributing towards creating a space for it. Then you said you hadn't decided, and we're still browsing. Your house, your yard, your playground, your kid, etc. Just let me know what you decide, and we can contribute $100 towards it. I like that you set that price.
Yeah. I think sending We'd love to, exactly that.
Yeah.
We'd love to help. Here's our price range.
She's upset with me now, but it is what it is. We're not spending $600 to $800 on a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it could still work out for the $600 one if mother-in-law was already willing to pay for like a $400 one.
Yeah.
You're fronting $100 and there's other people. You could hit 600.
Yeah, maybe. The petty side of me wants to say, screw it, and back out of the whole thing and just get my nephew something I want to get him. However, he's not my kid, and I'm respectful of boundaries. His mom, my sister-in-law, is very much a hover parent, though, and wants control over every aspect of his life. And I'm not about that. I'm disappointed because I thought I would get to be a part of something special for him. Am I the a-hole for feeling salty about contributing towards something that I really didn't get any say in picking out? And OP says, for reference, this is the swing set sister-in-law picked out, not including the cost of mulch and other landscaping to set the project
We're
up.
mulching this whole thing?
Well, I assume to make it safe.
Plop it on
guess.
top of the grass.
I
The
don't
rocks
know.
are part of the experience.
It's fun.
Rough up your knees and brush it off.
You get a couple cuts, you're
You're
good.
fine.
Mother-in-law originally offered to order both of these swing sets that they link if we did the landscaping and picked out a couple additional playground items. And we've got some relevant comments, but what do you think?
I think you set your boundaries. You said how much you're willing to spend. And if we're going to keep having a whole bunch of issues over this, then maybe we do just debate getting him something else.
You say, sorry, this is a little, I can give you $100 or
Yeah, you can get him. You can just get him some swings to hook to the swing set. Some changeable, some swings to change out because they usually can be switched.
OP says, it takes me a bit to get to the root of the issue when I'm upset, but I think it's because I had some great ideas for something to make a playground for him really special. And she had made it a joint effort and then took it back and specified that she was the one making the final choices. Commenter says, who do you think should make the final choices? OP says the parents obviously should choose what they want for their child. In this scenario, they initially agreed on what was affordable, which were the options mother-in-law sent. Then they decided on something more expensive and wanted everyone else to supplement, knowing they were unable to afford what they wanted. If you aren't the one providing something, unfortunately, the options are typically limited. So as it stands, the options are sister-in-law and her husband foot the rest of the bill beyond what mother-in-law and I originally agreed to pitch in. They can't afford this option. Mother-in-law and I shell out more. I genuinely would if I could. Or sister-in-law and husband compromise and go with the option mother-in-law is willing and able to gift. Nephew goes without until sister-in-law and husband are able to get what they want by themselves, because if they aren't doing the playground, we will allocate the budget towards a different gift. 12-month next play pass. But I told them they're getting $100 from us if they want to do the playground, and I left it at that. And we've got an update.
Okay.
I think those are, I think those are their options.
Sounds like it.
So they just need to come to grips with it and move on.
I had a plastic one, and before that, I had I don't think my dad made it, but like a friend made wooden plank structure that just held one swing, which I think was more for like a baby swing when I was little. But we switched it out for things. It held weight. It was only rotting a little by the end.
A little bit.
It's a swing, guys.
Yeah, you're fine. 11 days later, so true to my word, I sent sister-in-law $100 and told them to use it for either recouping funds or spending it on his playground. Mother-in-law contributed however much, and I'm not sure because that's her business. She did insist that if they wanted to get a different playset than one of the ones she offered to purchase, she would love to get him a teeter-totter to go with the playset. Sister-in-law showed excitement toward it, and everyone was excited to move forward. Mother-in-law sent multiple options for teeter-totters within her budget that she was willing to order. They are high quality and have good safety ratings. She gave a deadline of Friday, March 27th, which was yesterday, for sister-in-law and husband to make a decision so there would be ample enough time for her to order it and for it to arrive before the kid at his birthday. The deadline came and went with no decision.
Shock.
Mother-in-law sent a reminder in the birthday planning family group chat this morning, March 28th, which was the group chat that sister-in-law originally created to discuss the playset. Hours went by and sister-in-law finally responded to a link to a different piece of climbing equipment. This climbing dome was more expensive than any of the teeter-totter options that mother-in-law had offered.
I'm shocked.
Stop doing that.
So
Oh my God,
shocking.
stop it. You
Yeah.
can't just keep sending different stuff that's more expensive.
Entitled little baby.
Mother-in-law is now upset because she has really fond memories of spending time outside with her friends on the teeter-totter and wanted to get one for her grandson. It's ultimately not her choice to make. That is clear and understood by all of us. However, sister-in-law asked us all to help in the decision-making process and contribute funds to her son's birthday gift. And then she shot down every option and chose more expensive gifts than what was originally offered. I did what I said I would do, and the rest is between them, but I feel bad for mother-in-law. My husband and I both agree that she's being taken advantage of, and it's up to her whether or not she sets a boundary. The playground has been ordered, and they are in the process of getting everything set up. I hope it's all worth it. I do love my nephew to bits, but this is the last collaborative gift effort my husband and I will be participating in. I think that's probably a smart idea.
Yeah. AGal82 says, that's when I leave the group chat.
Yeah, I go, okay, we gave you the money. Bye.
Bye.
Commenter says, honestly, that's the best thing you could do. Do you guys earn more by any chance? Maybe her pushing and faffing around about deciding meant she thought, oh, people contribute more, or maybe just buy it outright. Either way, good on you for sticking with exactly what you said you would do. OP says mother-in-law makes more money than any of us, and she works so hard every day. My family does just fine financially. We budget and save for specific needs and activities to enjoy, but we don't have any more money than anyone else. Sister-in-law is a stay-at-home mom, and her husband is a union worker who makes decent money. That's the most frustrating bit about it. He makes enough to be able to provide for his family and more, but he's very selfish with their money. Nothing gets allocated towards anything unless it's in his interests. In the kindest way possible that I can say this, he puts on this air of being burdened by his wife and child because he's the provider of the household. Therefore, it's up to sister-in-law's mom and us, me and my husband, to shell out extra wherever we can to alleviate some of the burden of caring for them. Anytime we do anything together as a family, my husband and I pay for our family, and mother-in-law winds up paying for herself, her daughter, her daughter's husband, and her grandson. To add even further to the complexities, sister-in-law's dad is not in the picture, so my nephew only has grandma. Mother-in-law has this complex because she divorced her daughter's father, and now that we've added a generation, she has to be both grandma and grandpa, so she shells out extra for every little occasion to make up for it. Again, it's her money and her choice. My husband and I can just read the room, and we're tired of mother-in-law being taken advantage of when sister-in-law's husband does have money. He just expects someone else to take care of anything that doesn't directly involve him. Commenter says he sounds financially harmful, selfish, and quite frankly, an a-hole. Mother-in-law shouldn't feel guilty, but I guess no amount of telling her that would change her mind. I think you and your husband deciding not to get caught up in a collaborative gift again is a good idea. From now on, get a gift you two decide on, and avoid the drama. OP says everything in that house is his. One of the things that immediately put a bad taste in my mouth towards him was the first time we went to visit them in their new home. They've been together for 10 years, and we've been together for 7. Sister-in-law was going to give me a Tupperware of a special meal for her mom, mother-in-law, because we lived right by her and they lived several hours away. He came into the kitchen and saw our exchange and was just super rude to her and said, "What are you doing? That's my Tupperware. I need for my lunches at work. I'm the one who pays for them. They're mine."
Okay.
You would get it back, dude. As well as other various comments about items in their home like his TV or gaming console. I've been on the phone with sister-in-law multiple times listening to him yelling at her in the background. One time it was because she touched his Nintendo Switch charger when he was in the middle of a game. And the console passed away and he lost some progress. Oh no, not some progress.
His own fault.
And he was just so angry over something seemingly minuscule. That's my charger. You don't touch my charger ever. I hate that relationship.
Yeah.
Yikes. Additional from OP, sister-in-law and I are decently close and we know each other more than I know my brother's wife. I know her routine and so on, and I'm decently involved in my nephew's life. I am close enough to know that she is very defensive over her husband. She enjoys being provided the luxury of raising her son, and that is directly tied to him. If she were ever to leave, she and her son could come live with us, but her son would have to go to daycare and she would have to go back to work, and that's something I know would crush her. I'm kind of jaded about the whole thing. I'm not jealous of her being able to stay at home because I see what it's costing her. She bears sole responsibility of caring for the house and being a wife and mom, and her husband offers little in the way of dad contributions. When my nephew goes to bed at night, it's never dad tucking him in. Dad gets home from work and promptly goes to enjoy himself with either TV, gaming, or a shower, with little regard to what his wife has been experiencing during the day. Then mom, who has cared for him all day, also does the evening routine, which is dinner, bath time, books, and bed. And before he goes to bed, it's go give your dad a kiss goodnight. When he's rude to her, I ask her if she's okay, and she says something like, "Yeah, but I shouldn't have touched his charger."
Girl.
Ooh, that is a really bad relationship. Ooh, boy. Yeah, she's been gaslit so much. And then claims that she can stand up for herself when she feels like she needs to. So I support her how I can, and I hope she knows we're there for her. I have taken a step back from our relationship recently because I feel we needed some distance. I was feeling hollow and irritated after our interactions and decided that I needed to give myself some time. But I think you guys need time to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
She needs to get out of that relationship.
Yes. Yeah. This is a very unhealthy relationship. Definitely need to get out of there ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm concerned for the sister-in-law. But there's a little bit left. Commenter says, I don't know. I was on your side the first time, but a seesaw for a 5-year-old? The dome is much more useful and fun. He can play with it alone and doesn't need a friend over just to use it. The price difference between a seesaw and a play dome isn't that high, which makes me wonder how much pricier any of the items sister-in-law sent were and what her side is. Frankly, paying $30 more, for example, for something he can play with more often doesn't seem outrageous. OP says that's valid. I don't care personally whether or not he gets a climbing dome or a seesaw. What I do care about is that sister-in-law agreed that getting the seesaw would be okay, and then without letting mother-in-law know, she chose something more expensive. For added context, he would not be playing alone the majority of the time. Sister-in-law and her family live on family property. There are 3 households with kids that all live next door to each other, and he spends every day with his cousins, and they'll all take advantage of the playset. This kind of adds to things as well. Not only are we creating something for him, it will be used by their entire family. 7 kids in total. I don't even like the other kids. There are 2 little girls that are huge bullies when they get together, and they're likely going to punt my nephew off his own playset. I told sister-in-law that if I see it happening, I'm going to say something to them. I do know these kids and their parents, so it won't be random discipline. Family property, not in a culty way. Sister-in-law's husband and parents had a big piece of property on a private drive, and when the kids grew up, they said they would give them some property to live on. Sister-in-law's husband's parents live at the end, then sister-in-law and her husband, then other family members behind them, all in a stretch on a private driveway. Sounds nice if sister-in-law were in a terrible relationship.
Yeah. And I didn't want her to move out of that house.
Yeah. I mean, I think OP has, done her piece. She's given the $100 and we're good.
Yeah.
But I do really hope that this sister-in-law is not going to stay in this relationship.
Yes, I do hope that.
But that is the end of that story and the episode. My sister-in-law demanded a special role at my wedding, but she's not even a bridesmaid.
You can sit down, please.
I, female 28, have been having issues with my soon-to-be sister-in-law, female 23. She recently moved in with me and my partner, male 26, due to a bad living situation. She has some cognitive disabilities, and I used to be a disability support worker, so I do understand her and try to be patient. By the way, this comes from Departure Oak 1553, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, recently our family had a vow renewal for my mother-in-law and stepfather-in-law. My sister-in-law kept trying to make it about herself, demanding certain photos and insisting she needed special roles. At a vow renewal? What roles are there?
She's the cartwheeler.
Yeah, she's like, everyone knows a vow renewal needs a cartwheeler. Myself, my mother-in-law, and the maid of honor all spoke to her about backing off, but it didn't really change anything. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law are rebuilding their relationship, so when I bring things up, my mother-in-law brushes it off with, she doesn't understand, or she doesn't mean it. I get that, but it feels like everyone else just has to deal with it. Now, my partner and I are getting married in 4 months, and I've already been overwhelmed. I actually wanted to just go to the courthouse, but my partner said I deserve a proper day. Today, I was making bouquets, and my sister-in-law asked, which one was hers? You're not one of them. You're not part of the wedding party.
Yeah, that's where you go, whichever one you're going to pay for right now out of your pocket to have just for fun.
Oh, did you just want one for your table? I said none, because she isn't a bridesmaid. She said she needs a special job. Okay, I have a very special job for you. You stand outside of the venue and you open the door for people. We need it. Every wedding needs a door opener.
Yeah, and also patrol the perimeter. Yeah.
German Shepherd her. And when I said she didn't, she replied, well, I'm special too. He's my brother. My partner supports me, but after this, I had a full emotional breakdown to a family friend, which is not like me at all. I feel like I'm not allowed to be important in my own wedding. I understand she struggles, but I don't want to spend my wedding managing her expectations. I just want one day where I get to feel special. Am I the a-hole? And we've got an edit, but what do you think?
How special is this person?
She's really special. She's super
how
special.
special?
I think
Clinically special?
maybe a little bit. I think that you let your husband handle this and you say, I'm actually not going to be picking up or answering any of your sister's texts or calls. Here you go. It's all for you.
You know what? Give her a 6-sided dice
Yeah.
and have her roll. And depending on what she gets, you get her a little trinket.
New answer, you give her a magic 8-ball and she asks all of her questions to the magic 8-ball. And if it says definitely yes, then she goes to her brother and says, the magic 8-ball says that I'm definitely supposed to have a special job. And then he says, okay, ask it another question.
Your job is to play with the magic 8-ball.
Yeah. Edit. I had a rough childhood where I was made to feel like I don't deserve anything nice, which is why my partner is making sure that I know I deserve it. That's a good partner. He has also been quite firm with her and said that she is just a guess. My mother-in-law and I had a great relationship until my sister-in-law moved back into the same state. And my mother-in-law is on my sister-in-law's side that she just doesn't understand. My sister-in-law is 23 and has a child who doesn't live with us, so she understands very well. He has been very involved with the wedding and has been trying to take on a lot of the stress as I'm already juggling work, study, and wedding planning. He has also had a conversation with her about it and has been quite blunt, telling her that her role is as a guest, which is what has been decided between both of us. He 100% supports me and has been backing me up and taking charge, but my sister-in-law always comes to me to bring it up, and we've got an update. But any thoughts for OP?
Sometimes you gotta just be able to block out the noise.
Yeah. You just say, can't hear you, la 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 la. It works really well.
Yeah, you just go, husband, take care of this.
Yeah. I've had a long conversation with my mother-in-law expressing everything, and my partner was also involved and supported me 100%. We have worked some things out and made it quite obvious that my mother-in-law was enabling her, to which she responded very honestly that she just wanted to fix the relationship and not cause issues. You're going to cause issues if you don't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search for Bookie Storytime. No issue. All good.
I better see you there.
But there is a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
Maybe like get your sister a frisbee.
Yeah, she
Or
can
like a
tire herself
ball?
out. She'll
Yeah.
go ham.
Just treat her like a dog.
You go, okay, all right. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Talk to your brother. But Opie finishes off. We're working on having my sister-in-law placed in supported living. Oh, yeah, so maybe there is some sort of clinical stuff going on. Staying with us is just temporary until that is finalized. I've told my mother-in-law that this is not okay, and my fiancé has said that we need to be a team with my mother-in-law to hold her accountable for the choices she is making and not treat her like she doesn't understand. My fiancé has also spoken to both his mom and his sister and was very firm and clear that what is going on is not okay. I have read through some of the amazing responses with him so that he can see that it's something he needs to handle. My mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my fiancé are having a sit-down at my mother-in-law's house to discuss options and to see if my sister-in-law will even still be attending the wedding. And that is the end of the story.
My husband's friend threw away my items while we were away from home.
Give me my stuff back.
So, context. My husband has a group of friends who have been together since school. I moved to his country for work and study and come from a different culture. We welcomed our lovely baby girl and are lucky to be in a country where parents can take a good amount of off time. We decided to spend 2 months in my country so my mom could bond with the baby since she couldn't be here when my first was born, the vid. By the way, this comes from Salt Dry 1680, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give some advice, but we don't know everything. We only know what we would do, but you should let us know what you would do down in the comments, because we're going to tell you what we're going to do right now. As Opie says, coincidentally, a couple we know was returning from a trip around the world. We needed to rent an apartment. It was a perfect match. They covered our rent, and we can be relaxed since they can look after our apartment and car. Well, once we returned, I noticed our kitchen was almost empty.
I mean, baking utensils, forks, knives, pans, cooking ingredients, casseroles, even utensils my mom brought from my home country for special meals were gone.
Excuse me?
I was furious. I still cannot believe how someone can do such a thing. She replaced 1 of 2 frying pans, and that was it. We still have a few pans, but specialty items to cook and bake different things are gone. My husband allegedly talked to the friend, let's call her Sarah. Sarah acted like she did a favor. Once she realized we were not happy, she argued she only threw away the things that she couldn't clean enough. I said allegedly because my husband tends to minimize and diminish the issue to not cause waves. I demanded she replaces every single thing. My husband is begging me to let it go, not to lose a long friendship. I feel like I'm in crazy town. I mean, who does it? Especially without talking to the owners of the house. If you don't know what something is, for why throw it away? I cannot wrap my head around it. Am I the a-hole and she was just doing us a favor, or am I being gaslit to high heaven?
Yeah, it's weird to just throw away people's stuff.
Yeah, and your husband's like, no, just let it go. It's very chill.
Yeah, was it something your mom brought back for you?
Actually, no, I couldn't understand taking anything from anyone's kitchen. And I'm a klepto. But I couldn't imagine, like, taking, like, for example, Sophia's measuring cup. That's been lost in the wild for so
You're
long.
gonna be like, I did take it.
I
She
didn't
found
take
it.
She found
It was
it.
in her freezer.
Yeah. It was in her freezer. And
Now she's
in the
still like,
ice.
who put it in my freezer? I don't know, girl. You live here.
I'm like, I have no idea.
Probably you or your roommates.
Yeah, someone did for like probably like a party or something. I have no idea. But what I'm trying to get at is that who just comes in and takes every utensil, like all the baking casserole dishes, like frying pans, like, oh, we threw them away.
Are we sure they threw them away? And they
Yeah,
don't
there's
just
no way.
have
They also
them?
took all of their silverware. What? If I came home to like my friends using our apartment for like a while,
Oh, and I couldn't clean anything, so I just took it all.
I couldn't.
threw
Yeah, I
everything
couldn't
out.
clean forks, knives, and spoons. So I just decided, I used them already. I'm just gonna take them. But then you don't replenish it. It's not like, oh, I'll get you new ones. No, you literally took it and was like, you wouldn't want them anyway. They weren't clean
No,
enough.
give them back to me. I'll clean them.
They need
Excuse
to
me?
know. Well, they need to clean it first. They need to know that's not okay. Like, I don't know if that, like, this probably isn't the first time they've done this. Maybe it is the first time. I don't know. But all I know is I'm getting my stuff back, or you're paying for it.
Yes, I
Because
agree.
that's my stuff. I don't care what I don't care what your husband says. He's wrong. I'm starting this up. They started this. I'm ending this.
Yeah. No, seriously. It's like, that's not cool at all. There's an update. Hello, everyone. A lot of people are asking for an update. And I have one, but not exciting or happy. To say that this caused a crisis on my marriage is an understatement. We are fighting over this almost weekly. He admits it is weird, but argues that he also thinks that it was warranted because he never feels our house is clean enough.
Then clean it. Then you clean it. Make it as to your cleanliness standards.
Yeah, no, literally, Storm Kitten has it right. Doing the dishes is lame, so I just threw it all out instead.
Basically what they said.
Like, no, that's not how it goes, and that's not your property to throw away. That's not your, like, and everything in the kitchen, it's okay to maybe,
Especially when it's, oh, I used your dishes. I didn't want to clean them.
yeah. And it's like, I would understand if, like, maybe you broke, like, a coffee mug, or you broke, like, a thing. Like, yeah, you're not just going to try to piece it back together and put it, put the pieces in the cupboard. Like, throw that away. But everything in my kitchen you just took, we can't even cook anything because there's nothing. We came back to an empty home. Why are you taking our stuff? That's crazy. Bear in mind that we have 2 kids under 5, a dog. Both worked full-time, and I was on bed rest during pregnancy. But apparently the cleaning I do must not be enough. Ooh, dug yourself a hole, my man. And when he cleans, it feels more like organizing. And then if I want to replace items to make the house nicer, he argues it is a waste of money. I realized the cleanup was worse than I thought. She threw away my child's playing rug and the one under my husband's desk. She substituted the colorful ones we had for gray ones. Some hair products of mine were also thrown away, and my makeup and jewelry moved from the bathroom.
Who is this? Who is this person? This is so weird.
So they literally took over your entire house
Yeah.
and like
Throughout
went
your
through everything.
stuff.
Like that's
I still feel like they took some of it. Because if they replaced it with a gray mat, did they just switch out like ones from their house or something?
yeah. Like I don't know. I feel
You know
like
what I'm doing? I'm going over to their place and taking all of their things.
Yeah.
Let
I'd
me
be
see
like,
how do you like that? Was that cool? No, it wasn't. But I'm going to do it anyway because you did it to me.
It's just like what is going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
All of the real expensive pieces were with me, so nothing seems to be missing there. Now the wildest part. Oh no. She invited my husband to her birthday party. She broke up with her boyfriend while they were here, so she is now living alone. She also left some stuff behind and said my husband could bring it to her. I mean,
Don't like that.
yeah. The worst part is that he came to me to plan how I would stay with the kids for him to go.
Oh, so your husband sucks too.
The sheer audacity. I was floored. I was confused, but then backed down, saying he wouldn't go. She was surprised when he declined. He said he was firm this time, but until I see the messages, I do not believe it. He probably blamed it on his wife. My wife said I can't go, sorry. You know, we're just going through a hard time right now, and I can't leave her. That's probably what he said. I really put my foot down this time. Doubt it. By the way, I'm going to put my foot down and say that you should listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. They're all there. Please do it. For the children.
Storm Kitten 20 says he's bringing her something, but I don't think it's her stuff.
Just crazy. She like she left her stuff, but then took your stuff. What? Make it make sense.
Yeah, tell him to bring back your stuff while he's over there at least.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like they're
And the fact that, like,
cheating.
If it, like, did she take their stuff, or did she, like, she says she just threw it away. So you just threw away all of our silverware, all of our dishes, all of our baking
I feel like she
appliances,
has
all
it.
like everything. You threw away everything we had, and you think that it's okay not to get new ones, not to replenish the house.
It's also just weird. Again, the husband is not is like, yeah, it's weird,
The
but I'm going to
husband's
defend it.
being weird.
Yeah.
He's being very weird about this.
I thank you all for the support. This is all so wild, I can't wrap my head around it. About suing them, I am considering it, but my husband is pushing strongly against it.
Of course he is.
For those saying just leave him, I am not lying when I say that for the second time in almost 10 years, I considered it. But with 2 small children and just recovering from a hard pregnancy, still on maternity leave, and jobless, it is not an ideal situation. Yeah. I also hesitate because despite many flaws, I love him very much, and he's an excellent father and person. Just a complete pushover. I cannot even express how much. Lastly, we are seeing some common friends tonight, so I am building up the courage to tell them about it. I cannot keep this in any longer. And that is the end.
Yeah. Say it to your friends in front of your husband, and then they can be like, buddy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Defend
And-
your wife.
But also understand that there will probably be some backlash from him on the way home, because he'll feel like it was, he was ganged up on, and all of this was just like he was blindsided by it all. It's like,
Well, tell him beforehand. Hey, by the way, I'm going to tell my friends tonight.
by the way, I want to tell our friends about what happened and see if we can get their input on
By
it.
the way, if you're so confident, I think we should see who they side with. Maybe a bad idea, but
I don't know. I think I don't understand why they threw away all the stuff. That doesn't make any sense to me, to be completely honest. I don't understand that. They just were like, "Oh, here, these are dirty.
there's no way she did. They
I'm just
threw
gonna
it out.
throw them away. No use for these. I don't care if they're family heirlooms. They're dirty."
My in-laws went nuclear after we refused to attend a party because of a disease.
Oh, we all know which disease it is.
Over the past few days, things with my partner's family have escalated massively because we didn't attend his sister's pretend Christmas gathering.
Christmas is never pretend. Okay.
An adult and her 2 children at the gathering had active symptoms of hand, foot, and mouth.
Okay, let's not go there. I don't want hand, foot, and mouth, please. No thanks.
We even had a text message pre-warning us the day would be cut short due to them being ill and said, remember to wash your hands and no hugging.
No touching.
Of the hands, foot, or mouth. We said we should rearrange, and the sister blew up at him on the phone. Since then, there's been a fallout. Some really nasty things were said to my partner, including being told to F off, and we didn't feel comfortable going to another family gathering. That should have been the end of it. Instead, it turned into constant calls, messages, pressure, and blame. His mom immediately got involved, insisting my partner needed to apologize for the kids, and saying he'd let them down. When he refused, his mom claimed the way he was speaking wasn't him, and accused me of speaking for him, even though he was outside alone on the phone. By the way, this comes from the user CanFit1984. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we're just goofballs. We don't know everything. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments down below. As OP says, since then, the messaging has not stopped. He's being told to sort this out by New Year to answer his sister's calls. The sister-in-law messaged him saying, Mom told you I was going to call today, so why haven't you answered? Like he's a child who's missed a scheduled check-in.
Yeah, I didn't answer because you told me to F off, bro. What do you mean?
The sister-in-law and mother-in-law told my partner he's a terrible uncle. I blocked both mother-in-law and sister-in-law on Facebook because I didn't want them watching my posts. Apparently, this has now made things worse.
Yeah, of course it has.
That's
ridiculous.
Yeah, this is all politics now. Any move you do is being watched like a hawk. And I'm being blamed for that too.
I mean, yeah, that's your fault. Let's be honest. That was your fault. Yeah, but you just took a little sprinkle of gasoline, you went on top of the fire. Yeah, it got a little bigger.
What's really getting to me is the complete lack of boundaries. Silence isn't allowed. Distance isn't allowed. Saying no isn't allowed. When he said he wanted space, she immediately started calling me and texting me demanding to come round. And I said, I need space. Please stop contacting me. And she just kept asking, why?
This reminds me of a friend of mine who had a girlfriend. He just wanted to take a shower by himself, and it turned into a full-blown meltdown just because he wanted to take a shower by himself.
Why?
And he was just like, I just want to.
Why?
It's like, we don't have to talk. There's nothing to talk about. Like, I just want to take a shower by myself. Everything's fine.
Why?
Yeah, and then it was a nightmare.
It's really intimidating me. My partner is exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I feel like no matter what we do, it's wrong unless we comply. We intend to sell up and move to the city. We aren't going to tell them.
I mean, honestly, do you like your nephews? Do you like the kids?
The kids are fine. It's the rest of the family.
You can just hang out with them, dude.
My partner has always kept his sister at arm's length. Gee, I wonder why. They make snide comments at him, and his mother and sisters both seem entitled to insert themselves into his days off and his plans. I feel terrible for him, as he was crying when telling me this, whilst he was receiving messages from the mom saying, I love you so much, boy. Please let me come round. I'm crying in bed. I'm crying looking at your presents. You haven't opened them. That's gross.
Just like, even if that's true, it's like you're using it to manipulate me. You're using it to guilt me. Like, that's not a mature thing to do.
No. I think this is so manipulative when he asked for space. Any advice would be appreciated, and we have an update. Boy, oh boy, I think you just say your piece and be like, no, we're tired of you. We did not show up to that party to be considerate because, I don't know.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease is like, you get sores, or it's like a rash, basically.
Yeah. Oh, did we offend you because we didn't want to give you that because we were being considerate?
I'm not even sure who had it. I think there were just other people who had it, or maybe they said they had it.
Maybe they had it. Whoever had it.
It wasn't like super clear, but it's like, yeah, it makes sense if you've got young kids to not bring them around when there's hand, foot, and mouth going around. It's like, what? And then for it to then tailspin into the sister being like, well, F you. F off. It's like, okay, we will. I don't want to be around that.
Yeah, honestly, dude, the quote-unquote, we effed off. His mom just isn't getting it. She texted him multiple times again today saying, hi, love, and miss you loads. Will I see you today? He replied with, love you too, but I still need space. I need at least a few days. She just kept messaging stuff like, I love you even more and more.
Stop. Stop it. Stop trying to make me guilty by saying you love me.
Yeah. I don't think you know what love is. He told me not to worry. He said he doesn't like the thought of his mom being upset. I said, I know, nor me, but selfishly, what about us? He agreed. He plans to tell her the things she said were unacceptable, and he won't be sitting around her house for food or coffee until she acknowledges that. As for his sister, he's happy to never see her again. I've blocked them on everything. We got another update. Let's go right into it. The only way I can be contacted by them is through the family WhatsApp group. I haven't left because I know they will react poorly. Today, out of the blue, the sister-in-law's husband, who never posts in that group, writes, "We're going to the park at 2 p.m. if anyone would like to meet us there with the children." My mother-in-law replies straight away, "Yes, please." I am convinced it is being done to try and make us feel guilty. Top of this, we both got a text from another auntie. I just replied, "Only do what makes you happy. Have a nice New Year's Day." I know 100% my mother-in-law has given her a version of events. I have blocked her too. When I came home, my husband was sat on the phone on loudspeaker upstairs. All I heard was, "We have tried with her. We don't know where we stand with her. We know she's been ill." I have fibromyalgia and was having urgent MRIs and CT scans for terminal illness and was pretty much in bedbound from July to the start of November. Continuing quote, "And said, she could have taken our dog and the nephew to the lake in the pram," quote. My partner said to her, "She used to try and call you and go to yours for tea once or twice a week when he was on nights." And then she told him I stopped answering. She just said, "The past is the past."
Yeah, sure, whatever. That's a great line for people who don't like to be held accountable for anything.
And I would just respond with, "You're not in our future."
Ooh. Ooh.
All this is blown up because he said he didn't want to catch hand, foot, and mouth disease, and they are somehow twisting it and historically attacking me for visiting my mom without him. I actually hate them at this point. And we have a third update. Anything else you want to add before we jump into that
Honestly,
update?
OP, I think it's kind of tail spinning out of control for you because it is such a ridiculous thing, and like you guys are right in terms of like who is more wrong in the situation. It's like clearly they're being like, you know, kind of gaslighty and emotionally manipulative, but like it's like really getting to you, and it should just be like, yeah, they're crazy.
It's just like, shut up. Look,
Right.
at this point, like one ear out the other. That could be harder for others.
It can be hard, but it's like the same thing with like the Facebook blocking. It's like, oh, they can see my post. Yeah, who cares? It's Facebook.
I can't think of the quote where it's like, you can't talk to a crazy person because they'll just never like listen. I can't think of the direct quote, but it's like something like that.
Yeah,
like,
something about arguing with fools.
yeah, exactly. Something like that. Where it's like, OP, you can't argue with them because they're just going to ask you, why? Why?
Yeah, I think end of the day, the biggest thing to consider is your kids and their relationship with their cousins. And if that's a really positive thing for them that they enjoy, I think y'all should try your best not to let the toxic aspect of your relationship with your husband's family get in between that.
Yeah.
But if that's not a thing, then yeah, cut them out.
We got a third update. What's really messing with my head now is that the focus has shifted to the kids. Ooh.
I mean, grandma's going to be worried about grandbabies.
Yeah. Group chats and messages about going to the park. The kids were so excited. It would be lovely for their uncle to come. It all feels time to make me feel awful. I genuinely feel sick with guilt, like I'm denying two kids their uncle, even though they are not his children. My partner does not want weekly involvement, and nothing has been acknowledged or apologized for. My partner is holding his boundary for now, but I'm terrified he'll cave just to stop the emotional pressure. At around this time, his sister got pregnant after an affair and pushed her way back into her husband's life.
Ugh!
When the first baby came, I was asked to babysit every Saturday. I had to start refusing, as did my partner. They demanded we do every other weekend, and I said I didn't want to. The final nail in the coffin for me was the christening. I was told I wouldn't be asked to be godmother as they had too many godmothers. What they didn't tell me was that they were going to do a big reveal and asking my partner to be godfather a month later. They made a little surprise present for him to unwrap. It really cut me. I remember sitting there smiling and thinking, is this real? It's me that babysits and takes the kid out, not my partner.
But also, like, why do you care? It sounds like that's not what you want anyway. So why does it matter?
For my 30th birthday, my dad arranged a meal to meet my future in-laws. All of a sudden, my sister-in-law is invited last minute. My sister-in-law makes an announcement at the table that she got me a special present. It is a pin badge that says Godmother. I just thought this is such a weird thing to do. The penny dropped when my back pain got so bad I had to go off sick from work. My mother-in-law comes around unannounced with the baby. As I'm fussing him, she says to me and my partner, "You need to see those bloody kids more." I just looked at her and said, "I just told you about my MRIs," and she just laughed and said, "So, you can still visit and see them, right? The sister, especially sister-in-law, she's got main character syndrome.
Oh.
She likes to be the main character. Oh, this was your birthday meal that your dad set up. I was invited last minute. Guess what? For your birthday, I'm gonna make you godmother.
Yeah, happy Godmother Day. Not your birthday anymore. Now it's Godmother Day.
Yeah. It's like everything has to be about her, and like if you don't follow her to her regiment or to her rules, you're a bad guy.
I also am confused though about what OP even really wants here. Like you were kind of burned by not being the godmother, and then she made you godmother, and you're like, that's weird. I don't know what you want. Figure out what you want.
Opie continues saying, I've kept them at arm's length since then. All my mother-in-law cares about is how much time I've spent with her and her daughter and grandchildren. My partner said today he doesn't understand why his mom and sister are so obsessed with him. They literally want us to bend and be available for small windows when they are idle. And we have a fourth update. So, my partner went to his mother's for the chat. He said he just laid out all his points and clearly stated that we don't want to be made to feel guilty about his sister and his sister's kids. He made it clear that he is not their father. He told her that he is still not ready to see his sister and that I might choose to make contact when ready, but it's our own decision.
Yeah, I wouldn't be reaching out till I get an apology for the way I was spoken to.
Which I don't think is ever going to happen, or at least a full-hearted one.
Yeah.
He also made it absolutely clear that any more comments out of spite about my family will be completely unacceptable. Apparently the reasons they kept trying to ring us constantly was to apologize. I find that very hard to believe.
Really? It feels like you want this to stay bad. I'm getting the sense that you really kind of want it to continue to be bad. But you gotta want it to at least get better, or it never will.
I did point out to my partner, I don't believe this to be true. They could have easily sent the word sorry instead of sending stupid stuff.
Yeah, but then you would have been like, they just texted the word sorry. Come on.
Opie continues saying, my partner said my mother-in-law has apologized to him for the things she said. She also said the sister-in-law is sorry for telling him to F off. He said he's not ready to see her at all. And apparently she was absolutely shocked he had told her to leave him alone. One thing is for sure, I will not be making the first contact or move. I have no apology or guarantee of it not happening again. We have a fifth update. The title is Mother is Escalating Her Bad Behavior.
Oh boy.
Saw that from a mile away, didn't we?
You mean it's getting worse?
At this point, just move and then just don't respond.
Yeah.
Don't respond to them.
It's really frustrating.
You say you want to block them. You say you're done with them. Sure, your husband can have low contact with them. If anything comes up from them, just don't respond. You giving them a response is just continuing it to continue.
Yeah,
Personally.
don't play the game, man.
Update 5. She is legitimately gaslighting her son now. Oh, that's fun.
I mean,
wasn't she doing that before?
Is it working?
Yeah. So, he went to an event today. Mother-in-law calls the driver on the way home on loudspeaker and tells him that Sunday dinner at mine tomorrow? Is Roy there? Can he hear me? So he replied, yes, I can. She took it as yes, and the call ended. He came home frantic because he felt ambushed into agreeing. Texted his mom, just to be clear, I am not coming to Sunday dinner tomorrow because I don't want to. And she legitimately replied a straight up lie. That's okay. I didn't say it was tomorrow. I said the 17th. See you then.
That changes nothing about me wanting to go. He didn't say, because I can't make it. He said, I don't want to. That's crazy.
These are truly people that cannot take no for a no.
Ugh.
Not good. Mother sends a stream of messages begging him to let her come around tomorrow. He replies, Mom, I am disappointed and upset. I don't want to see you and my sister for a while. I need a break and headspace. Do not contact me so much. She legitimately replies, why are you disappointed? Didn't you have a nice day?
Right.
At that point, if I saw that, I'm throwing my phone into a lake.
A nice day erases all bad things ever. Anything I'm upset about no longer applies because I had a nice day.
Everything you've done and said, Men in Black wiped. Just
The nice day beam.
I continued with saying, I cannot do this anymore. My personal opinion is that she is sporting for a fight. The option of low contact isn't working. It's not working because you keep talking to her.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Honestly.
A day or so after the chat, mother-in-law was already love bombing him and offering him to bring him food. I come home from work and see food in my hallway and Christmas presents labeled for me. I send a text to say, thank you for the presents. Over the coming days, she doesn't reply to me. Only bombards him with silly stuff and then deleting her own messages. Love you so much. Is Kay going to see me soon? Has she opened her presents? Has Kay opened her presents? She sent this 3 times since Monday. Tonight, they were planning how to get to their event. He's gaming. He doesn't respond instantly, and he hasn't looked at his phone for 2 hours. He replied with, "Yep, okay." 3 hours later, and I'm instantly removed from the family group by mother-in-law. She could have so easily texted me, "Sorry," by now, but she hasn't. By her doing this, and the love bombing, I really don't think she has learned her lesson. Why should I initiate or grovel to this woman? And we have a 6th update.
I don't know, bro, but it really keeps rubbing me the wrong way that OP talks like they don't understand why his family would be reluctant to reach out when she said multiple times that she has kept them at an arm's length for years. And people notice that. People don't just...
I think there was something way before the hand, foot, mouth disease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Obvi-
clearly
I mean,
been going
obviously-
down for a long time.
I mean, obviously with definitely OP's husband for sure, with his mom and his sister and OP's mother-in-law, sister-in-law.
Yeah, and then basically leaning on him to be Uncle Dad, demanding that. It's like, hey, I have a life. I get to decide what I do with it.
I don't know. Like I said, low contact means low contact. When you keep texting them or replying to them, that's not low contact. It seems like maybe it's low contact for you guys when you stop talking every day, and maybe it's like every other day or every 3 days, but you still continue in contact. You're continuing this. You're letting it happen. Stop. We have a 6th update, and the title, I like the title. Update number 6. My partner has blocked mother-in-law.
Yes.
There you go. So, basically, we both decided not to argue and justify anything. My partner has blocked his mother and sister on WhatsApp. He's concluded that his mother isn't going to change, despite her apologizing to him just a week ago. After blocking them on WhatsApp, his sister messages him on Facebook, not asking if he's okay, but simply, "I know we are not speaking, but can I ask why you left the family group and have you blocked me on WhatsApp?" Questions she knows the answers to. I believe wholeheartedly she will never apologize. I feel they are both just looking for blame now. I told him if he wants to see them and pretend nothing happened, he can, but I sadly cannot do it myself. There will be no hard feelings, and I'm not asking you to choose at all, but I cannot give in this time.
I think there's some hard feelings.
Some very hard feelings.
We can acknowledge that there's hard feelings.
Yeah. If or when we decide to have children, I do not want them here. If this is how jealous they have been over one of my younger sisters, I dread to think how jealous they would be over my own born child. I don't understand why they have pressured and expected him to act like a second dad and not an uncle. The jealousy of his free time, the constant phone calls, the guilt trips, it's pushed him away. He's holding the boundary. And I hope this year my physical health improves and I can save and move to a nicer city near his job. And by the way, it's your job to listen to full episodes with stories just like this by going to your favorite podcast app, such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and searching up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left. What say you?
Move to Nova Scotia. I used to
Okay.
think it was Nova Scotia.
Good for you. Maybe
Yeah,
there is a Nova
yeah.
Scotia out there.
There's a Nova Scotia for us all out there. You don't have to let these people dictate your life one way or another. I think you can just move to be closer to his job. And it doesn't have to be like we need to move to get away from them. Like there's like a bell curve where it's like you're not doing anything about a situation and then it controls you. And then there's like doing and taking action. And then it goes all the way back around to you're letting that situation dictate every action you're making.
You know what this felt like? This felt like a long ping pong match, you know? Where like they're backing away from the table.
It felt like Marty Supreme too.
I mean, truly, it felt like, all right, let's ping pong. All right, now we're backing further away from the table, but the ping pong's going higher, so it's taking a little bit longer. Or like, oh, we're doing arm's length. So like we aren't talking to them as much, but we're still talking to them. But hit the ball back, you know, kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
drop the paddle. Stop playing the game.
Just resign.
OP says, I no longer care if I'm a bad person for not wanting to see his sister. She's vile, jealous, and miserable in her own life. I never had a problem babysitting and taking the kids out. I had a problem having to sit in her house and her mother-in-law's house multiple times a week. It didn't feel good having my days off and my life planned by an overbearing mother-in-law. It never felt like love. It always felt like control. The only thing I regret is I put up with this for 7 years. Opie continues saying, they say love is blind. My eyes are open to them now. Thank you, Reddit, and the lovely people who helped me keep my sanity. I feel like a bird that has spread its wings today. Thank you. That is the end of that story.
My in-laws demanded we delay our wedding because we stole their thunder.
They're Imagine Dragons.
I'm in a whirlwind this week.
You don't say.
My partner and I, 30 and 32, got engaged on Friday after 5 years together. We are still happy. And the engagement didn't come as a surprise. It's been part of an ongoing conversation all year, during which we built up our family planning, including talking to doctors about the timing for him to come off medications that could affect the process. By the way, this comes from user Bride My Time. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give good advice, goofily.
What are you, a helicopter?
In here, bro.
But we don't
No,
have
that's the dragons, Keon.
the dragons.
They're circling.
We don't have the wisdom of a elder dragon. We're simply...
Just imagine.
Yeah, and tell us what you're imagining in the comments. Tell us your Harry Potter house. We also started going house hunting a few months ago. One of the reasons we held off on the engagement, however, was that my partner's brother told us in March that he had bought a ring and was planning a big surprise engagement on a holiday in August. Holiday in August?
I think they mean holiday like vacation.
Oh, these freaking Europeans, man. Our little bubble has burst in a big way. My partner is very close to his brother, and I thought I was very close with his partner until this week. We hang out all the time. They come to family dinners at least once a week, and we're very enmeshed. When they got engaged 2 months ago, she would constantly say, "And you soon," or "We could be doing this together if your partner would hurry up." But now that we are engaged, they are both upset with us. They told us that we have stolen their thunder. Thunder.
Is the thunder.
And now they do not get to be the focus of wedding planning conversations. They have put a stipulation on us. We cannot get married before them and cannot get married until at least 4 months after them. They have a date set in late October next year. We did not anticipate a negative reaction from them. Neither of them seemed like wedding people, often rolling their eyes at family friends who went overboard with wedding planning and rules for guests. Now, however, we feel stuck. On one hand, we want to get the wedding over with. If it were up to me alone, I'd elope in a month.
So elope in a month.
Do that, dude. I do not want a wedding. I want to be married. But my partner does want the wedding and all that entails. We don't want to put having children off another year or more for the sake of someone else's party, even if we love them. We are a little unwilling to start trying before marriage because we're practical. If we skip a step, we probably will never justify going back and spending the money on a wedding when we could use it for our family instead. Didn't you say you didn't want one? We're practical. I don't know, whatever. I also have one grandparent left in her late 80s who I love dearly. I lived with her in my last years of high school when my parents kicked me out. I do not want to drag things out and risk her missing meeting my eventual baby.
So either say screw them and have it whenever you want, or just have it 4 months after theirs. I don't know. Do it 4 months to the day.
To the day.
To the day.
Yeah,
Just to spite them.
to this day. I am also hurt because I was genuinely happy for her when they got engaged, even knowing it slightly disrupted our timeline.
Why does one thing mess with the...
Because they're like super enmeshed. Because they hang out all the time, and now they're being like, "What if you do your wedding the same year as
people
us?
get engaged the same week.
Then our wedding doesn't matter." And it's like, yeah, that's just not true. That's just wrong.
Which is not how it works.
No one else has a wedding but us.
And you should do a secret wedding. You should get eloped.
Well, husband doesn't want it.
But just because you want to do a secret wedding, that doesn't mean that you need to have the vibe of let's get it over with. That's not the point.
Secret wedding.
It's let's enjoy it for us. Let's have our wedding for us instead of for others.
Secret wedding.
So, I know that she is not happy for me in the same way. She has barely spoken to me since our engagement, and for the first time in a year, they canceled family dinner. My brother says we would be upset if the roles were reversed, but that isn't true. We agreed to hold off once we knew he had something planned. I am not a jealous person. I rarely guard my resources or hold things close. I have even explored ethical non-monogamy in the past without issue, and my partner is the same. Maybe that skews our perception. By the way, skew that perception that you've got right there, skew it on over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio and search OK Storytime, and then you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this, whenever you want, whenever you please, at the whim of your heart, to your heart's content.
Whatever you want. Dude, I don't know. Just get married when you want to. Who cares?
Yeah. Get married when you want to,
Get
dog.
married when you want to.
Get married when you want to.
That's crazy.
Adding flavor. My family has a stock villain called Mariah,
Carrie?
my uncle's first wife. She was horrible for many reasons, but all she wants for Christmas is you. She was horrible for many reasons, but one story my mother always tells is that when my parents got engaged, Mariah sat them down and said, "There will not be 2 last name weddings in 1 year."
That's crazy.
When we returned from that awkward conversation with my brother, I sat on the sofa and said, "I can't believe it. We've been Mariah'd. I don't even care."
And then you hear her like whistle tone from the woods.
You just start hanging. Yeah.
I really do not know what to do. Bro, me either. Am I being unreasonable by being taken aback by their request? I am heartbroken and anxious about further delays. I am frustrated that I cannot enjoy a happy bubble with my partner, sharing wedding things as I thought I could with my friend. Internet parents, I'm sorry for the ramble, but can you tell me if I'm being selfish or rude? I do not want to burn a lovely sibling relationship, but I also do not want to capitulate if their request is unreasonable. And there are comments, and honestly, I hate that you would go to the point of like, I don't know, what do you want? What
I
do
don't know.
you want? You want to start a family right now? You want to get married now so you can start starting a family and
It's
have
not
kids?
that. It's not that
Just
simple.
Start the family and then get
It's that
married if you're
simple.
that
It's not
worried
that
about
simple.
It.
It's literally
how
that
is
simple.
it not that simple?
Comments.
Here is the real question.
Are you a dragon?
What does your fiance think? If he's willing to submit to his brother's wishes, then you're left with the decision to go along and give back the ring. If he won't go against his brother's demands, you need to question what other timeline will be dictated by the brother
You
and
sound.
his partner, and ask yourself if you're willing to live your life according to someone else's schedule. Make your own decisions, but if your fiance isn't on the same page as you, it's time to move on.
OP says he's really confused and frustrated by the request. I also know it's hit him hard. He's a lot quieter than usual. He thinks it's unreasonable, but doesn't know how to handle it in a way that doesn't mar this relationship forevermore. He plans on going to speak with his parents in the next few days to get their feelings and really lay things on the table with them and the brother as to why we aren't willing to wait, which is a big step because he's a private person that we really weren't going to talk about family planning or this kind of thing until we had success or failure, I guess, but we aren't thinking about that. Comment 2 says, "Oh, literally no one except them gives enough of a crap about their wedding to care how far it is spaced out from someone else's wedding. A wedding is a wedding. It's a wedding. It's some stupid event. I have to dress nice. Wait.
Someone here hates weddings.
It's some stupid event I have to dress at least semi-nicely for and fork over money and do the goddamn chicken dance because we're largely German and Polish, and there's almost never a vegetarian meal option."
Is the chicken dance Polish and German?
Is it?
I've done it at.
I guess it's got...
I've done the German, like German events. Yeah.
It sounds like it's got an accordion in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's very German. Do what you want. What's important is your grandma and your husband, I say. But just keep in mind that probably no one else is going to be as invested in your wedding as the 3 of you are. OP says, "I agree about no one really minding but us and my 5-year-old niece. who has already proclaimed for us she will be wearing a princess dress and throwing flowers. We just want to have a fun night with our friends and family, and we just happen to get married at some point. I'm not really a wedding person, though I do have a dream dress in mind. I've been watching that thing for the last 10 months, waiting to buy it. Our priorities...
Girls, just buy it.
Yeah, just buy it, dude.
Just buy it, dude.
Just freaking
They
buy
take
it.
like forever to get made and show up. Just buy it, dude.
Our priorities are no one gets poisoned due to food allergies, a real risk for both partner and I. Well, that's a good number one priority. The people who can make it say they had a good time afterwards, some drinks and folks dancing, because we aren't cool people. For our friends, and enough food will cover... Wait, what? We just want to get married at some point in the day. That's the end of that story. We're getting married. Maybe, but just freaking do it. Don't let anyone else on the face of the planet prevent you from doing the things that you want to do, as long as they're not hurting anybody. And guess what? Just because you're also having a wedding the same relative-ish time as these other folks
Who
doesn't
cares?
hurt. That doesn't hurt them at all.
Who cares? Just get married.
Yeah.
I told my sister to grow up over her grudge and almost lost her.
Now she's holding it against you?
Let's find out if we're going to read this. I am 28 male and my sister is 25 female. We did not get along as kids. She was the typical annoying little sister and I was the mean older brother. I teased her a lot growing up, but I did my best to make sure that if I did tease her, or if we did have a fight, I said sorry or made her feel like I didn't mean any of it.
Cute.
I never wanted her to go to bed thinking we were not on good terms. By the way, this comes from user Brubbergrudge. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
We're going to yap about this story. We're going to give our take on it, but you know what? We haven't been in this situation. So if you got any insights, let us know in the comments. Let us know what they are. OP says, she moved out when I was 22. Okay, Taylor Swift. And she was 19. I went to her farewell party and I really thought we were good. I never apologized for what I did, but I was proud of her for going to college. We stayed in contact about once a month, just saying how our lives were going. We weren't close, but we weren't pushing it, and I enjoyed seeing her tell me what was going on in her life.
Okay.
She came back for Thanksgiving when I was 23 and she was 20, and it went well. I saw her in person one more time at Christmas when I was 25 and she was 22. I didn't go to any family holidays on my side for like 3 years since I got really serious with my SO. We got engaged 2 months ago and I went to her family's place for those holidays since we lived closer. Yesterday was my dad's birthday and I haven't seen him in person for a few years. So I spent quite a bit of money to have me and my significant other fly down to their house and stay the week. My sister was there too, and I was happy to see her in person again and have her meet my partner. The whole party was fine, and I know my parents were happy that both their kids were together in their house again. At night, when my parents went to bed, I was having a drinky poo with my sister while my partner was going to the store for breakfast items.
All right.
The subject of our past years somehow came up, and I told her I felt bad and was sorry for any troubles I gave her during that time.
Oh.
I could tell she was kind of miffed, and I don't know if it was the booze talking, but she basically said that once our parents pass away, she doesn't want much to do with me because of how much of a butt I was when we were kids.
Oh. Interesting. Dang, this is what happens when you don't talk as siblings. Resentment. It's a big shock.
I mean, yeah, can't really fault either party here. I mean, we can fault OP for having been the mean boy. But it's like, I don't know. I guess we need more info.
More info.
Her perspective.
What exactly she's holding against you.
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah.
What exactly did you do? Anyway, I was shocked when she said that because I thought we both had moved on from that and had a loving and caring yet distant relationship. I didn't even know what to say, and I was, and still am, heartbroken because I do love her and always wanted us to at least be caring towards each other. Her basically saying she has no desire to do much with me really hurt. I finally got it out and said what we did as kids was years ago, And if you're still on about that, then you just need to grow up. Ooh, that's a bad way to apologize. I'm sorry for how I treated you,
Oh, there it is.
but it shouldn't be the basis of why you hate me now. You kind of really were off the mark with that being an apology.
I mean, I get your sentiment, but if she's holding something against you, you should probably flesh it out.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, you're stupid for feeling this way, and you need to not feel that way because it's the dumb way to feel. And I'm right.
Yikes.
Yeah. She didn't say anything after that, but are you done? And then she went to bed. The next day, she talked to me like nothing happened. And I was weirded out by that, but didn't want to make a scene in front of our parents who still have the view of us being close. So Reddit, I ask you, am I the a-hole for telling my sister to grow up after she's held on to grudges that have been like 10 plus years old? And there is an update, and I would say,
Yeah. Some helpful context is to know what grudges she has against you. Some of these grudges may need more than a just grow up.
yeah, and it's like, look, were you the a-hole for the stuff you did, like, as a kid, essentially? Like, it's like, you know, it's so common for siblings to go through that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even necessarily say you're an a-hole for that, but for the one specific context you asked about, which was essentially the way you phrased your apology to your sister, yeah, you were wrong for that.
If Tate came up to me, said, I don't want to play basketball with you anymore because of all the times you beat me as a kid, then I would be like, grow up, man. That was 10 years ago. You're better than you were then.
Yeah.
We can still play.
But if he was like, I don't want you to be around my family because of the way you made me feel and the way you treated me as a child,
Let's talk it out.
you would go, oh my God, I had no idea you felt that way still. I look back on that with regret.
Regret. And you know what OP didn't do? Did not take accountability at all.
0%.
He said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't feel this way.
No. She's putting herself out there. You should probably actually talk with her. What the heck?
If you really do feel sorry, you need to say it. Because, I mean, you say that you do. Your response felt like you don't.
Dude, we weren't taught how to really actually say sorry.
Yeah.
It was just like, you say sorry, you say it's okay, and you live on with life. It's more complicated than that.
Update. So this has a really happy ending.
Oh, I needed that.
Spoiler alert. Okay. I hope that's not sarcastic. A day or two later, after she blew up on me and I told her to grow up, me and her had another sit down and I just listened. Turns out she hated how I was never there for her, and I will admit I wasn't. I just left the state as soon as I could and didn't even try to come back other than for holidays. She also said she wished I called her more. She would text me on social media and would call me, but it wasn't that 1 week thing, so I just didn't answer and I felt horrible. Most of y'all said I was the a-hole and that I should just hear what she has to say and apologize. I could tell she was tearing up, so I did something I hadn't done since we were children. I just flat out hugged her and let her cry on me. Bro, you hadn't hugged your sister since you were children?
Yikes.
Oh. Yeah. Talk about close but distant in your head.
Yeah.
Great googly moogly. At the end of it, I apologized and promised to do a better job. But I asked her to please give me another chance to be a good brother. She agreed to that. For the past month, I've texted her every other day and called weekly. It's effort, and it's actually working. I won't say we are as close as we were as kids, but it's good, and I enjoy talking to her now. It's cool to know stuff about her so we can coordinate things for our parents without having them stress about anything. I'm currently in town for Thanksgiving, and she and her partner have been very generous in allowing me and my partner to stay at her place for the week. Thank you for all the comments and for calling me the a-hole for being so petty to my sister. It pretty much saved the relationship. And by the way, you need to save some time in your day to go over and listen to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platform. I'm talking iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, and just search OK Storytime.
Yep, we are the most productive podcast out there.
We are pumping it out.
Yep.
We're going, well, I was going to say Haktua, but like,
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to pump that out.
We don't. But guys, we listen to us and you'll get stuff done.
Yes. And you know what? We're getting some stuff done right here, man.
This is sweet. I'm glad that he's being humble. You need to be humble in these scenarios.
Sometimes the solution is to listen to women. Who would have thought?
Just to listen in general.
Who would have thought? that listening to women could solve problems.
Guess you wouldn't have.
The sarcasm is that you should very obviously listen to women. They're very smart,
Mm-hmm.
and we should listen to them.
I like women.
You're a woman doctor,
That's right.
categorically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Categorically.
There's an edit here. The reason they have never heard from me for 5 years is because I had a substance use disorder and they booted me out. I was hurt and scared and hated my parents because of it, and I grouped my sister in with them. About 5 years later, I realized how much of a spoiled little nuisance I was and reconnected with them. My parents were happy, but my sister wasn't. But I was able to talk her into giving me another chance, and now we're pretty good.
Oh, wow. That is very helpful context.
Yeah, we do. We got some context there, and that is some good context that informs us a lot.
Yeah, I love that we get to the end of these stories sometimes and they just drop a bomb. We're like, oh, yeah, that would have been useful.
Yeah, that would have been useful context to have the entire time. Thanks. Well, we do have some comments to finish it off. Comment number 1, not gonna lie, my eyes bugged out of my head when I first read the post, and you said that you hadn't seen your sister in years and that you never go to family holidays because you got close with your SO. Just for the record, people usually don't ditch their entire family for years unless they hate them. I can see why your sister was extremely offended. Comment 2 says, my brother did this and we didn't see him for 7 years, and he wasn't but 30 minutes away. Turns out he was miserable. When my husband saw him in a store one day and told him everyone missed him and would welcome him back with open arms, he left her and came back. If your SO is keeping you from family and your family isn't bad people, you should worry.
Yeah.
OP says, my SO actually asked me on numerous occasions to go visit my family. I was just in a dumb, angry state of mind. And that is the end of that story. And ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
That a dumb, angry state of mind will keep you from a lot of stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Namely, yeah, of your family it can keep you from, your friends, your career, your loved ones.
You really have to have a significant other that supports you.
Yeah, have a significant other who points out when you're in an angry, dumb state of mind.
You have to, yeah.
If you're dumb and angry, you don't want to be dangry.
Angry, because you'll look dangry. And dangry's a stupid word, because it's not real.
Hi. Well, we got another story coming up right now.
I thought my sister's fiance was perfect until one phone call changed everything.
Yeah, it turns out he's actually just like the rest of us.
Trigger warning, emotional mistreatment for this story. I don't even know where to begin. I used to think my sister's fiance was a good guy. Until today, I can't even begin to express how worried I am for her. By the way, this comes from user throwaway Lost Boys Some Tom. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. We're just a bunch of goofy guys and girls. We only know what we do. So let us know what you do in the comments. As OP says, today my sister, 21 female, texted me that she had some drama to share. This wasn't new for me. She usually has drama from her fiance's side of the family all the time. Usually humorous, crazy crap. Nothing could have prepared me for what she told me this time, though. For the first time ever, she let me in on an argument between her and her fiance, 23 male, that had just happened. I can't remember verbatim what occurred, so bear with me. She begins to tell me that 2 weeks ago she was working late, till 1 a.m., at her job where a 16-year-old boy was also working and needed a ride. My sister soon learned he only lived 3 minutes away from her house, so she stated she'd feel horrible for not offering a ride in that situation. She tried to contact her fiancé to make him aware of the situation, but he did not respond. He was presumably asleep. She proceeded to take the boy home, and that was that. Her fiancé never had an issue with it. Flash forward to today. Apparently, my sister's fiancé is very prone to anger. He constantly yells, puts her down, and gets angry when her tone isn't just right, or things are not in order at home. I was not aware of any of this. Today, he blew up over an argument regarding money. The argument spiraled into another, unrelated thing, such as her being sus and driving around with another man in her car at 1 a.m. Mind you, this man was a literal child. My jaw was already on the floor at this point. I straight up told her this would be a breakup worthy for me. Not only because he insinuated infidelity, and with no trust, there can be no relationship, but because he insinuated her of committing a disgusting crime.
Adultery with a little boy.
Stop it.
That's not, no. And I think
That clearly-
he's clearly cheating on you. If he's immediately jumping to, you must be cheating on me because you're driving your 16-year-old coworker home who lives 3 minutes away from you.
who he also knew about and was cool with,
Yeah.
supposedly.
That man's cheating on you. And he's already just angry and mad at you all the time. He's cheating on you.
She told me nonchalantly. I couldn't even believe it. Not long after she told me this was before I learned about his proneness to anger, which she would soon describe. She said she wanted to try and talk it out with him and was worried it would only make things worse. She hung up. 10 minutes later, she's calling again, and I catch the tail end of their argument with her fiancé roaring profanities in the background. A car door slam and a car peeling out. She also said at some point, "Dude, I never talked to you like this." We talk a little more about how she, in fact, made things worse and how he was speaking to her. I said she was much stronger than me because I would be crying if I were in her shoes.
Yeah, I don't really think you made things worse. I think your husband made things worse.
Well, fiance. Is it fiance?
Oh, yeah, well, thank God. Yeah, no, your fiance made things worse. Let's call off the wedding. I don't think we want to sign up for a lifetime of this.
And just to think, how long have they been dating, Carly?
Too long.
Did it say?
I don't think it did.
But this is coming up now, and it's fiance, right? I wasn't wrong on that.
Do not get
Yeah.
married to this man.
5 years,
not.
and this is you're now learning that he's prone to anger.
Sounds like he's been playing the isolation playbook
I
a little
don't
bit.
know. Yeah, this is not good. Unless if something like changed drastically within this very short period. I hope this hasn't been going on for 5 years. It continues. She was talking to me like it was another day in her normal life. Mind you, I knew nothing about any of this crap prior to today. So I was horrified and she was so nonchalant. It was chilling. She responded and said she doesn't really cry much anymore, which broke my heart. I asked her if she was sure he was the one for her, and she said she doesn't know anymore. I can tell she knew this wasn't normal. She proceeded to break down and sob that he had taken the car and she had to work in the morning. They only have one car and she frequently walks and or pays for her own Ubers to work while he is looking to purchase a second motorcycle for himself instead of a vehicle for his fiancée, who is walking herself to and from work at a fast food restaurant at often wee hours of the night.
Yeah, so let's just not be with this guy. We can stop doing this. We can separate that. Right? We can start that. We can start that process. This guy's terrible.
And that he had said he was going to hook up with some girl since she was apparently also unfaithful with a 16-year-old child.
He's already hooking up with this girl.
Yeah,
I get if he wasn't
I think
always
you
like
called it.
this, if all this started at some point, it started when he started cheating on you.
And if he's not even cheating on you, all this other crap that he's doing is bad. You can't sugarcoat any of this. This is all
It is.
bad. Yeah. Opie says, I lost all respect for him at that point. She was sobbing, which was rare to hear. And all of this was new information to me. She begins to tell me more and more horrible stories about his proneness to anger and other ridiculous conflicts they've had and red flags he has shown. I'm absolutely enraged and devastated for her. I tell her this is not normal. She begins acting like any victim in this scenario would. She thinks she's being dramatic. She thinks my opinion is biased because I don't know him like she does. She thinks she's not strong enough to leave and start over. She spent a big chunk of our call hiding from him in her bathroom, shaking and crying and keeping her voice down. Clearly not normal, nor okay. She wants to try talking to him again. I tell her that if she's going to let me record the call so she has evidence of this episode in case it escalates again. She is hesitant, but agrees. However, he told her that he was going out with a friend and that he does not want to talk. I tell her that she needs to put her foot down and give him an ultimatum such as, we talk now or I'm done. I mainly want her to have evidence of this episode for her own protection. But I also don't want her to be in a position where a man can walk all over her. I also want her to freaking leave. However, she's holding firm and borderline upset for even suggesting she give him an ultimatum. And by the way, here's an ultimatum. Either you do or you don't listen to full episodes with stories just like this one. Just go to your favorite podcast app such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and search up OK Storytime.
The opposite of an ultimatum.
I know.
You just said do or don't. You have to say do or else.
Don't.
Yeah.
Do or don't. I'm giving you options. That's my ultimatum.
I'm giving Keon an ultimatum to give y'all an ultimatum.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Okay, we can't start quoting.
We can't start quoting that.
Yeah, this is really hard. I would, where are her friends? Who are her friends? Who else knows about this? Who else knows about her relationship? Who else can tell her that it's time to go?
This is crazy, the fact that it's coming out 5 years into their relationship, and she has gotten to the point, like, I don't cry anymore. This is normal.
Yeah, I don't really cry anymore is crazy. And then immediately 5 minutes later is weeping. You don't cry anymore because it's your defense mechanism. not because you shouldn't be.
Back to the story. We've spoken about ways she can safely leave him, but she doesn't seem too keen. And I feel like I've widely overstepped. Am I the a-hole? And there's some comments. No, you are, I would, if someone told me this, and I would, like, if Dakota told me this, or someone close to me told me this, if my sister told me this, I would freak out. I would be going crazy.
Especially if it's like also a complete 180 on who you thought their partner was. You're like, I always thought this was all right. And now it's like...
Comment. I truly think that she needs to leave and possibly get even more trusted advice, maybe from your parents or friends. Their relationship is highly unhealthy and nothing would change. OP replies, her friends agree it's toxic and bad, but she says they're biased towards her and doesn't know him or his side. This is not healthy.
So you just need to tell her that's your bias to him.
Yeah, it's gone to the point where it's just, I feel like no matter who tells her or what they tell her, she's going to come up with that response of, you're just biased. You don't see him for who he is.
There is no positive behavior that offset the negative behavior that he is doing. There's nothing he can be doing short of curing cancer. And even then, why are you such an a-hole?
Yeah. She's estranged from our mom, and our father is not in the picture. She has a trusted grandfather she intends on letting in on the issue, and I hope that goes well. I also hope third-party, unbiased responses might help. If I choose to share, and that is the end of that story.
My mother-in-law wanted me off of the house deed, but I refused.
Get out of my house!
Me and my partner have been together for 8 years, married for 2 of them. 5 years ago, we bought a home together, a small 2-bedroom unit, just to see if we could coexist without unaliving one another, with the intention of only staying a few years before we got married, and then upgraded to something larger. By the way, this comes from Dragon Shadow, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we are here to give you some good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, 3 years on, we had enough of a deposit to do just that when my partner's mother came to us asking for help. She wanted to buy a place, but didn't have anything in the way of savings. She was tired of renting as it was becoming more and more expensive. We talked about the issue, knowing that if we agreed to help, it meant delaying our own upgrade by a further 3 years at minimum. With some hesitation on our part, we nevertheless did the right thing and helped out his mother by giving her $90K.
Dang.
That's not helping out. That's life-changing money.
That's crazy.
The sum total of all our savings at the time, making it clear it was just a loan. And she bought a place also with the aid of her other son. Recently, my partner has been talking to me about getting my name taken off of the documentation to the house. So it is only her name and 2 sons on all the paperwork. I know his mother has been in his ear about it because she only ever brings it up after a solo visit to her. For a while, I avoided the conversation, but recently my husband has had an actual conversation with a lawyer to draw up paperwork to have my name legally removed. When I found out, I told my husband we needed to have a serious talk, and I told him honestly that I would not remove my name from the documentation because, to date, his mother has not paid either of us back a single cent of the money we lent her. This angered my husband, who said I had agreed to take my name off the documentation. That's why he spoke to a lawyer in the first place.
No.
When I insisted, I never agreed, and that I was just protecting us both by insisting our names stay on all the documentation.
Yeah.
He called me paranoid and that his mother would never cheat us.
Well, this way we can ensure that doesn't happen, right?
Now I feel guilty. Am I the a-hole for refusing to remove my name from the documentation, seeing as I did help pay for the place she bought? And, well, you bought.
Yeah, she didn't.
And,
she
yeah.
didn't buy it.
And without our help, she would still be stuck renting, and there is an update.
You are not the a-hole. Do not take your name off of that thing, because you spent $90,000 of money that you couldn't afford to spend. Because again, that was all of your savings.
Yeah, because I'm sure there was not like a contract or like anything that like you signed saying this, but
you
if
owe
your
me
name is
$90,000.
on,
Exactly.
if your name's on it, then that can be proven.
Yes.
You know, so if you take it off, then it's like now
And
there's
also-
no documentation of it.
You
know?
just have ownership of the house. So if she sells the house, you make some of that money back.
Yeah.
You know, like there's all of these legal things that are protecting you while your name is on that deed.
Yeah, I don't think that you're the a-hole at all. I think you're doing this to protect yourself. And husband, is getting mad, I would be angry as well. I'd be like, that's all of our savings, and now,
But the
what do we do?
husband, that was his decision.
Yes.
Partially.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to help. It's his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So, yeah. If I were, the partner and my partner did that without my permission, I'd be like, what the?
Yeah, without my permission,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
hmm.
But they both decided to do this. And it feels a bit like the husband just, like, has spent his whole life catering to his mom. And so it's whatever she says goes. So she needs help buying a house. Oh, he has to help her. She says, get your name off my lease. Oh, he has to get the name off, That's that. It at least seems like maybe that's the dynamic.
Oh, why is he saying like that? I also am like that with my mom. My mom tells me to do something, and I'm just like,
How high?
yeah, no, for real. That's why I'm her favorite. Also because I'm just really talented.
I can jump so high.
Also, I'm just the star child. There is an update. It has been almost a month since I put this post up, and quite a few things have changed. First off, I went through all my emails and text messages. Anything that mentioned money, my mother-in-law's property, or talking to a lawyer or bank, anything that was signed, I made sure to print off a copy and put it in a folder. And I have asked my parents to keep this folder at their place as my backup. Good. Secondly, me and my husband had a long talk. I asked him to listen to my scenario, then give me his opinion. In this roundabout way, he came to see and understand things from my perspective and has agreed my name will remain on all documentation until we have been paid back.
Nice.
No payment schedule has been made yet, but we are talking about it at least. He has also told his mother the same, and she has stopped asking for my name to be removed. To be clear, and this hurt to ask him, but we are not getting divorced. My husband doesn't want to leave me, and no, I will not divorce him. Well, good. I'm glad that didn't.
Yeah, I
come
don't think
between
that.
you guys.
Yeah, I'm worried about your guys' financial decisions, but it seemed like that was just, he was really. He just has kind of a issue with the boundaries with his mom, and he's working on that.
Yeah. Thirdly, the situation with my brother-in-law living with us on top of everything else.
Oh boy.
Well, this week he was fired from work and he hid it from
Oh
everyone.
my goodness, y'all are too nice to people.
By the way, we'll never hide from you that you can listen to full stories with full episodes just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime. There's a little bit left. What are we thinking?
I think that you guys need to start setting up boundaries with the people in your life because it seems like they're taking advantage.
Yeah, because now, brother-in-law is now, unemployed.
Freeloading.
Yeah. Freeloading at your house.
Mother-in-law freeloading.
Yeah, off your savings.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems like
all of your savings too.
Seems like everyone's putting you at a disadvantage here.
Yep.
So I
Seems like
would,
it.
I would have a talk about boundaries maybe, and then also start the payment plan.
Yeah.
When it's honestly mind-boggling that that hasn't been a conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like that should have been a conversation when you did
yeah,
it.
Yeah, it should have started as a conversation.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been here's $90K.
Here's $90K that you will pay
talk
me
about
back
it later.
in installments starting now.
Yeah,
Give
if
me
you could just do
$10.
this much a month or whatever, blah, blah, we just gave you our entire savings.
$20 every 3 days. How long would it take to pay back $90,000 if you were paying back $20
Every
twice
3
a
days.
week?
I mean, you can pay me.
It would take you 37 years
God.
if you paid $20 every 3 days to pay back $90,000.
Well, I would hate my life.
That's going to be a long time. But, maybe if she starts doing it, she'll get there.
All right, let's get back into it. Now, before people start downing him, I kind of see him being fired as a good thing. For the following reasons. He was forced to look for work elsewhere. He chose to look for a place closer to where his mother lives and succeeded.
Okay.
This means he will be moving back in with his mother. I am very happy about this.
Awesome.
With his new job, he also got a pay raise and a few more hours as well as a rotating roster, so he has 1 weekend off a month. Something he didn't have at his last job. Oh,
He didn't have any time off?
I guess not. No weekends.
Oh my God.
While things have not been resolved fully with mother-in-law, at least between me and my hubby, we have open communication once more. Still, I would like to thank everyone who gave me their input. It made the feelings of guilt go away, and it also made me feel secure and brave enough to have the open and honest discussion I needed with my husband. And that's the end. You did not even talk about the update to like how she's going to pay you back.